Good afternoon, everybody. This is the Virtuous League. This is VG versus Akuma, and this is your host, Sunrise, following Shells.
What up, Sunrise, man? We have a great game today, like you said, VGA versus Akuma, and these are some really good comps right here. We saw the draft happen off screen, off stream, but looking at these two comps here, VGA, I'm actually very surprised without looking at players' OP.GGs and their play rates and whatnot that they got Zeri and Karma B1 and 2. With only the knowledge as the answer. Obviously, the bot lane is the highest priority for these two teams, but being able to get that Zeri and Karma in those first two picks tells me that Akuma has a lot of other players who play very well. That those power picks, those broken picks, are allowed to come through with that kind of disgusting ability to be strong early and even turn to unkillable late in the game.
I really do respect those picks because they are looking, since they are picked the Braum support, they're trying to keep Zeri alive as much as possible in laning phase.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to mid game, I really do like the Karma pick, being able to protect the whole team and just let the Zeri hyper carry. With the AKM side of things, I really do respect the Lee Sin because if Akuma ever wants to do something, they really need the Lee Sin early power, like the kill potential at the first three levels to get at least one of the laners ahead.
Yeah, I agree, and the Lee Sin is going to be very important. Now, this Aatrox pick has become a little bit more popular uh lately. Not quite. I wouldn't call it anywhere near even meta right now, but it's one of those pocket things that just actually you can make it work if you are talented on the pick. So I'm looking to see this top lane. I'm actually very interested to see how this Aatrox looks into the Karma. Um, I honestly don't know what this looks like. It's probably going to be very karma favored. I'm probably going to look at this Zinzao pathing away from the karma, so it shouldn't be too. We shouldn't see too much of a 2v1 or 2v2 on that top side. But I still want to see how this Aatrox looks in this game because VGA is going to be they're definitely going to be scaling, and this Aatrox, I believe, does fall off. You have the Jinx, you have the Victor. So it looks like maybe for Akuma, they want to look at the early game going top side because that Victor and Jinx are going to scale regardless. But that Aatrox has, I think, limited value as the game goes on.
Yeah, I can see both sides going to into the late game. It just depends how the teams are going to play it out, and I really think this is going to be more of a jungler matchup. See
Mhm.
how well Lee Sin and Xin Zhao will, how much they'll do for the team, and that's going to depend how it goes. And I do believe that AKM does have the stronger late game because of the Victor and because of the Jinx, since they scale really hard.
Yeah, 100% agree with you. They have a lot of scaling there. It's gonna be that Jinx and that Victor versus the Zeri and the Karma. And like you said, for the junglers, I agree. It's gonna be very jungler centric here. But it's Lee Sin versus Zinzao. We've been seeing this matchup for the last 3 months now, 2 months. So we've seen this matchup, and you're right. It is very important. It's probably one of the biggest matchups here in this game. Number one, but I won't lie to you. I'm getting tired of seeing Xin Zhao versus Lee Sin. I have to focus on this Karma top lane versus Aatrox. But before we get out of here, I want to give you a shot real quick. Who do you think wins this first game based off comps alone?
Off of comps alone, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm very biased when it comes to it. I'm a very Braum lover, so I want to give props up to the VGA for picking the Braum.
Okay. And honestly, I agree. I mean, it's not like the Braum for me. It's just seeing Zeri and Soul Link Karma, being able to keep Zinzao alive longer later. You have Karma and Braum. I mean, you're gonna have to do a lot of crazy work to get this Victor and Jinx ahead before they just take over the game. So I think we both have VG ambition winning this matchup. We're gonna go into a quick break while we get loaded onto the Rift, and when we come back, we will have game number one of VG ambition and the Akuma Blades for the ADL playoffs, round number one. You don't want to miss it.
All right, here we go. AKM versus VG. Let's see how this goes.
Yeah, we're looking at these two teams. We have a best of five series on our hands. The ADL is not playing any games at all. Round one of the playoffs. Look, the whole playoffs BO5. I wish Proving Grounds had that same mentality, but we get this very potentially robust series between two teams right now, and we both said we liked the comp of VG Ambition on the blue side more. So we'll have to see just what Captain decides to do, what lane he decides to really enable, and it looks like he's going to do what I thought he was going to do: start top, path away from this Karma, and try his best to get this Braum Zeri lane started very early.
Yep, and right now we're starting off at the fight point in the beginning of the game, and I hope to see a lot of action going on in the bot lane because, like, just because of the Braum pick, you go very aggressive with the Nautilus. So I want to see crazy action. I want to see crazy action in the bot lane because as an ADC main myself.
Yeah, I mean it's always cool to see that action in the bot lane. Like, I mean you definitely want to see it's a 2v2, right? It's a 2v2 that can turn to a 3v3, and before the teleport changes. It used to be 5v5's bot lane often before the first dragon, or right around the first dragon. So, I mean, it's always exciting to see a Zeri play and the Jinx. You know how this matchup goes. But yeah, I mean, I really do think that with these two pathing the same direction, actually, we might see a 3v3 very early on in this game.
Let's see how it goes. Right now, just little trades coming up from the mid lane and from the bot lane. Just little trades here and there. It looks like Victor is pushing up, getting some connects with his Oriana fighting back. Uh, Victor taking a lot of damage from that, and see how it goes. They're still trading out. I'm really liking how this is looking. May potential to an all-in. Who knows? And they decided just to keep farming out, and the bot lane getting right now VG side is getting pushed in, but it's okay because that's what they kind of want to be farming under tower, and just to be slowly until they actually hit their power spikes, because honestly the Zeri is very strong with a hit level 6, so I wouldn't expect nothing so far right now, but still trading into the mid lane. Victor taking a lot of damage from the Oriana, and it could, let's see where the junglers are at. Nautilus is roaming into the red side of Captor and doesn't see him doing it, but something might happen right there into that junk presence, and no, nothing has happened so far.
Yeah, so all that's not did, it looked like he may have been trying to find Zinzao coming down to that tri brush, ended up just looking for vision and then
Oh,
making a move for
so
that,
look,
that Scuttle Crab. Yeah, it's going to be a 4v4 for the Scuttle Crab.
there we go.
Uh,
Hooks lands onto the Zinzao. Zinzao had a flash away, ignited. Let's see if they start retreating. Good sums coming out. Great catch from Nautilus landing that Q. Zinzao down, ignite down. Oh, and it seems like Nautilus also used a flash just to connect that Q. But either way, let's see if Lee Sin could capitalize it, and some damage coming from the Oriana. And he's going top side to Scuttle. See if he's trying to make a play off to the Karma with the Aatrox, and almost something happening.
yeah, it looks like he just want to go for the double Scuttle reset and then get strong for this dragon that's going to be coming up pretty soon. Looks like everyone is actually, no. We're not looking at Jinx and Nautilus resetting just yet. Keyboard and Ratchet are going to try to get this wave pushed in first, then maybe get some vision and then back, so they can be strong for this fight at Dragon. Right now, we do see Captor is pathing toward his top side. Both junglers are, so they're going to be looking to probably just clear that out. Maybe not make Dragon a priority. They may just try to get ganks in farm until Rift Herald, and then make a play for honestly either one of their bot lanes. If I'm either one of these junglers, my focus is purely on this bot lane because you have two hyper scaling, easy champions that can definitely carry a game single handedly, and they're gonna be your win cons. I say your Aatrox pick is probably a pocket pick. You say Legoat James, you play that champion and you win your lane or do what you gotta do to get to the late game, get to the mid game. Uh, but we're as a team focusing on keyboarder and ratchet. That's what I'm saying if I'm Hex missed.
Okay, trades coming out into the mid lane. Oriana really dishing out damage to the Victor and getting major prio into the mid lane. And it seems like bots making a rotation, but they are going back. And I'm really surprised that the Oriana is dishing out this much damage to the Victor and getting that like great pressure in.
Yeah, I mean, uh, getting that, having a 45 or having a 10 CS lead on this Oriana is very, very good. Ooh, we'll go James.
Oh, here we go. Flash Cuny and Karma has a flash out. It looks like James didn't want to go for more. Looked like he could have done something, but decided to retreat back.
Yeah, I mean, Karma has a lot of mana right now, so he's not gonna really be in a I don't know if they had like actual kill pressure there. They'd have to go pretty far in, but Flash is traded there in the top lane. I mean, honestly, I'm very, very surprised that Legoat James is doing this well. I mean, in this matchup, no CS. I mean, he's going to have the CS lead after this wave right here, and that is not at all how I expected this Karma into Aatrox lane to go at all. So it's just pretty just like a an isolated 1v1 where I don't think there actually is going to be any real 1v1 kill pressure in this top lane.
And it seems like AKM did get the first Drake of the game, and it is the win Drake. So everything's coming down to level 6. Oriana is trading majorly to Victor. Victor's really getting half health. And another fight going between the jungler, Lee Sin and miss Oriana.
Ooh,
Victor
ooh.
missed just barely by the skin of his teeth, which would have been interesting to see. Now Oriana has no. Oh, Victor does, and see if he could return damage. But it looks like Oriana's not scared of him at all.
Now, watch Hexmas here, wrapping around. Oh, this is a kill. Easy kill here.
Easy kill. Is Oriana gonna go down? And she flashes over the wall. Lee Sin Q
Unless.
doesn't connect. Victor is coming in to get a kill off on the Victor. Great job by Victor taking great job by Cather taking advantage of Victor. Nothing, everything down, no sums, and there is trading up on the top lane. Good kill on Cather at this point.
It's like I said, Sunrise. I told you there is an easy kill coming. You thought I was talking about the Oriana at 1 HP. No, 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 no. I was definitely, definitely talking about AKM Fluke on the Victor. I said, ooh, I see this. I was like, 8
And
head. Uh-oh.
Cather's going all in onto the Lee Sin. Lee Sin kick,
What a
zips
great
out
kick.
into the tower. See how it goes. Flash. Oh, great job by Cather outplaying it. Now comes James cleaning up the kills. And it goes 1-for-1.
Yeah, and that is just an Aatrox with Merc Treads and a Ruby Crystal. Yes, yes, Captain was basically 1 HP there. But look, that was a very, very heads up play there on both sides. I think Legoat James sensing a good roaming timer. You're probably gonna do that better than Karma anytime. I'm actually kind of surprised we haven't seen number 2 Ginger leave lane and try to make a move on this Victor. He isn't mobile in the least bit. Look at these 2 wards here for the flank right there by the chicken pit. So I mean, you're not gonna sneak up on him anytime soon, but I definitely like the proactive play from a Goat James there and want to see maybe potentially something
Cather
like that
looking.
from
Cather
Victor.
looking. Oriana ult connects. Cather does land his W. Let's see if Victor goes down. And he does. Not us a little bit too late to save his life. 3-1. BG up.
And Capner does another magic trick. Now you see Fluke, and now you don't. That man has died twice in the last 2 minutes. It looks like instead of going for that bot lane play, Capner said, I'm going to focus on this mid lane, get my Oriana, who's already ahead, even further ahead, turn that into a Herald, and look what we have here. An opportunity to get his already very far ahead Oriana ahead, an opportunity to get his Zeri ahead. And you have control of the map right now. Dragon spawning in 140. Looks like we don't have that dragon bug fixed. It's a long bug from a while ago, but that's completely fine on the indicator there on the numbers. We have look. This has already been a very interesting game here from Captor being very very proactive on the map. I just want to see how this turns out more, and if we can see Hex Miss be even more proactive and match that kind of energy.
Right now, AKM is playing a little bit of behind. Oriana is dishing out a lot of damage since the beginning of this game to the Victor. It seems like has to figure out something better, or he's gonna stick to farming. And I'm wondering what this Lee Sin and what AKM's gonna decide to do to get right back into it, get Temple onto their side.
Yeah, and I mean the gold's even right now, even with the 3-1 kill advantage over to VG Ambition. You can see it's hold up. Yeah, no no real kill pressure here. That those merc trades are doing a lot of have a lot of value there for the Goat James.
Oh, Nana's going all in with the old Jinx. Lance traps. Zeri does ult out, but she is still dead to Lee Sin ultimate. And next goes the Braum. Nana's getting great hooks, great ultimates, and they look like Lee Sin brought it back. Good job going to the bot lane.
Yeah, and ask and you shall receive. Hexmist must have heard me. That man must have heard what I just said about Captor being practiced on the map. I said Hexmist needs to try to make a move here and establish himself. He went bot lane. Look, these junglers aren't giving kills over, okay? We don't give kills over to our hyper carries. We're the hyper carries for the first 15 minutes, and then if y'all want to get kills, y'all are late game champions. That means you get late game kills. Let me get the early game ones, and y'all can get assist goal. But still, a very, very practical play from Hexmist. Gets a little bit closer to Captor, and it makes the pressure even stronger for VG Ambition because two dragons get those 2 kills in the bot lane now. VG Ambition's on a timer. That Zeri is not ahead. You are definitely on a timer right now, and it's a very dangerous time for you.
And it does look like Mount Soul is going to be for the rest of the game, and see both sides could definitely benefit from this soul, from VG being a little bit more threatening, and something's happening into the red side jungle. Looks like Braum is trying to catch off. Pass it does go out. Captain trying to dish out the damage, but James is making it out alive. But Captain said no, come right back in, and they're still fighting. Low Captain's looking a little low. Braum's dead onto the red buff, and looks like that's all it is. It is 2-for-1. Um, AKM pulling out on this, and they're still looking up to fight. Decent kick, make sure everything's right, but Oriana wants it. Decent flashes out to the dead, and Karma's going down with him. Wow, a lot of flashes being burned, and down goes Oriana. To who though?
Fluke
Let's see if
trying to
Nadas
back.
takes it.
He thought he had it. Oh no,
Oh, Nadas is
that's
getting the kill.
That's so rough. AKM thought he had it. Maybe he's running Scorch and thought that he would get the that burn, that little small burn damage afterwards. I don't know, but I saw him start to reset when we saw number 2 Ginger on 1 HP. That is so tough. But at least Ratchet gets to get. I'm assuming he picked up a stopwatch off of that kill. So I mean, a 2-0-4 Nautilus. Sunrise, you said your main man was Braum. What can Hawkster do to make sure he can catch up with Ratchet? Because Ratchet looking like an 80k right now.
Right now, the heart is the strongest muscle, so I'm gonna believe in. I'm gonna believe in that. I'm gonna believe that he got this, and if not, then well, good job, AKM. I respect it.
Hey, he got
And
5
look,
games. So
oh, look like plays going. Oriana does get catch out. Zinjo trying to save Oriana's life, but Lee Sin finished off with the kick. Lee Sin still looking for damage going off. See if Victor comes and pulls through, stops him, and Qs after Qs landing onto the Zinjo. Captor can't go anywhere, and Lee Sin pulls off the double kill.
I really love to see Captor's productivity in the early game as the Goat James is doing flips, swinging his sword. That's a karma though. You're gonna lose that trade. Look at this.
He does pull ultimate. See if his life still keeps him in there. Karma's still dishing out damage, and Karma does pull through, getting a kill off of the top lane. And it seems like something interesting is happening in the bot lane. Nautilus almost going down, but Jinx is gonna pull through. Ooh,
Wow, that was so
and
close.
flashes into the Zeri, and still does get the double kill. Seems does she died by turret? Nope, and she lives.
Flash and Hill used from Keyboarder to get those kills. After that rocket sailed just slightly wide to split the goalpost, and right now, look, Loki Dosi is making this Zeri look absolutely balanced beyond belief right now. And if we can just go back another minute before that bot lane play, number 2 Ginger, literally reason he won that trade was 800 gold. It was that it's that green item. It's that green marble right beside the crown in his inventory. That right there against an Aatrox is the only reason, especially when the trade really started with Aatrox at half health and number two Ginger on the Karma, basically full with overshields. So I mean, that Oblivion Orb put in so much work in that trade, and number two Ginger's looking very good right now on this Karma solo lane.
Right now, in the beginning of the game, it looked like it was a Xin Zhao diff, but Lee Sin brought it back, making plays all around the map, and the kills are going into the right people at this point in the game. Right now, let's see if VG could come back and start getting the shutdowns, and hopefully the shutdowns do go to the Zeri, does go to the Oriana, so they can help turn around this game, because right now, AKM is looking very strong and very fed.
Yeah, looking very fed, but a lot of that gold and a lot of those kills are on the Lee Sin with at 5, 2, and 5. And if we could before this dragon look at the gold just really quickly and see what that looks like. In fact, let's hold off on that until after the fight because it's going to come up very soon. But yeah, you can look at this right now. You can see that VG Mission have position on there on the pit. They want to push this wave in and try to split this.
Flash in from the Nautilus onto the Karma. Oriana does create a good shockwave onto the Aatrox and Nautilus. Xin Zhao goes down. Oriana goes down. Great pick from the Nautilus, 2 for 1. And it looks like AKM's going to take over Prio over this Mountain Drake.
Yep, they absolutely will. You can see just the gold on the map right there. Hex Mist going absolutely crazy. Most gold in the game, which is not surprising at all. Over 1,400 over Captor, and Ratchet is playing out of his mind. He's 10 out of 13 on KP. He's making very good plays, but not just that. He's making timely plays. A hook right there before the dragon. I think he had a really nice fight right before Herald, but that didn't work out for them. But still, Ratchet has been playing absolutely amazing this whole game, and this I don't want to call it a support diff because Hexmist did also turn around his game from the first 10-15 minutes, but I'm looking at Ratchet here as a play starter, a playmaker, and someone who can maybe be trusted to help propel this Akuma Blaze team throughout this entire series.
Yeah, right now, Red Nautilus is a very strong pick with that ultimate following the Zeri throughout. No matter how far her movement speed is, it's just gonna lock everyone in her path and just leaving Jinx and Victor just to great damage in front of everyone that's where Zeri's running away. Like I'm seeing why the Nautilus pick is in there, and I can see like the effect that it's having throughout this match.
Yeah, I mean, Nautilus is one of the strongest supports in the game. Like I said, that ult is absolutely disgusting. As we do see the second Herald, usually not a high priority objective, but go ahead and get it. You are, I mean, you're not ahead right now, but I mean, for the most part, VG Ambitions had their way with getting position on the map. They just haven't been really playing these fights all that well. I thought that last fight was a really good opportunity for Loki Dosi on the Zeri to make a move, but only one shutdown, nothing else there. Kind of made it not feel so great, especially with that grouped up fight. That's what Zeri wants. Zeri wants all that. You can just get all that damage in. You can't miss at all. But
Looks like VG wants Veges onto the AKM. Braum on to the Tribus trying to catch out the Nautilus and Lee Sin, but it looks like none of the team members there. He does land the last part of his passive. Does look like Lee Sin's going to go down. Ignite is burned. Next up is the Nautilus, and he
Zeri? No.
And it went into the Xin Zhao, but it looks like they did cut off the Nautilus from being out. They just caught him out.
Yeah, kind of Nautilus. I think he really gave his life so that I think it was Fluke, so Fluke could live. Fluke could have to use Flash pretty early. If we could go back to the inventory really quickly to see items and whatnot, it's a bit disappointing that Captor didn't give that kill over to the Zeri because Loki Dosi desperately needs it. And Xin Zhao, look, Xin Zhao's cool. I believe he's going for the Death Dance here second, but Brody, you're not gonna be the carry. Yes, with number two Ginger right there, You can make some very strong moves, but
It looks
looking
like
doesn't have to be
Atrix
strong.
coming from the flank is getting the catch off to the Oriana. Captor looks like he is next, getting fed into the Aatrox. They are chasing him down. Captor flash
Mm.
over the wall. So does Atrix ease over the wall, and the chase is still going on.
Yeah, that's going to be a dead mission. Looks like Captor was able to get out of there by using the flash. That's great, but loses position on the map, has to reset. Not quite sure what the Goat James was doing there, just waiting outside of aggro range. But yeah, now this is the dinner bell. Captor got caught out, used flash, and now the Baron's being taken. What do? You're forced to walk in here. Your jungler is really late, and you're behind. It's a tough spot.
Looks like Victor is getting caught out by the Zeri. Can't do anything about it. Karma gets caught out off from the top. One for one kills going on the map. And Braum does get hooked by. Let's see if they start finishing off kills. Jinx passive going on. Zinjal trying to get onto the Jinx. And it looks like one by one, VG is going down and a Baron secure for AKM.
Yep, easy as you like right there. I mean, that fight was looking pretty even until the GOAT James pulled up. Ends up 4-2-5, just absolutely destroying the competition here. And I think a lot of this is indicative of Captor getting so many of those kills early. I mean, it was cool to see how Champagne fan was able to, dominate the lane and play so well, but you looking at 1 kill and 4 assists, and you're looking at your Zinzao with 5 kills and 1 assist, it's not exactly what you want to see at the 22-minute mark. And I know it's hard to like tell someone, "Look, yo, give that kill away," especially in this kind of league. But you're starting to see how being overly aggressive can maybe potentially cause problems once you get to the mid-late game. So this is probably, I don't want to say it's over, but a 6K gold lead or 7K gold lead, Soul on the map right here, position for Kuma. It's not looking good.
And here we go. They are fighting out. The Nautilus does land onto the Zinjao. Jinx dishing out the damage. There she goes, getting off her, pass it off. Braum looks like he is next in line. And right now, it's just Aatrox is trying to go for the Zeri, but Zeri is kiting away as best as he can, trying to get support on the team. And Lee Sin goes with the kills. Nice flash insect onto the Karma, leading to her death. Zeri doing the best he can, and Jinx just finish her off with the rocket. And looks like AKM is streamrolling the rest of this game.
Yeah, give this game any sort of metaphor for the general public or pop culture, if I had to like describe what's happening here to someone who's never seen a League of Legends game, I would say that what's happening here is the Akuma Blades are Will Smith and VJ Ambition is Chris Rock. They are getting smacked left and right on the rift right now. The game is basically over. Looking at an 11K gold deficit right now for VG Ambition, and I mean, you're getting your whole jungle taken. You have Mountain Soul for the Blades. This is basically done and dusted because this Jinx is already strong, 8-0-7, gonna get IE on this next back after that blue buff decides to let her kill it. And I mean, you're looking at a very, very, very difficult position to try to come back in. This Lee Sin is 9-2-10, Brody. This Aatrox is actually strong. I had my doubts, but I said if it's gonna work, it's because this is a guy who plays the champion a lot. He's gonna be left on the island, but he'll be able to make moves if he actually does play the champion quite a bit. And Legoat James has proven that in this matchup, he can do just fine. There's no one who's played poorly in this game for the Akuma Blades. Yes, Victor had a very weak early game, but he's come back, been very impactful. They've all contributed very, very strongly, and they look unstoppable right now.
Yeah, that is very true. Akuma looking very, very strong into this game. I was having my doubts in the first couple of minutes of the game since the Zinzao was 2-0 pulling up, and it looks like something is happening from the top lane. But Karma looks like she's getting away. Nautilus is hunting. He is hungry, looking for kills, and see who is going to be next. Top lane, Lee Sin coming from the flank. And lands hook onto the Karma. Let's see what the Lee Sin try to pull. Let's see if you see another insect coming out. Very clean with it. And tower right there. Poking out, dishing out damage. And they are looking hungry. And Aatrox into the mid lane. So they don't have the Oriana to come in with the shockwave to give a team ulti. And let's see if the tower does go down, but it looks like Lee Sin's getting caught out. Nautilus with the ulting out, and Lee Sin goes down, and they really have to use everything. Oh,
Well,
Jinx with the ultimate from downtown, getting out to the Braum, and it looks like they're still trying to fight it out. They're still looking very strong. Let's
yeah,
see if
the
everything.
Blade said, if you get a kill on us, we're gonna trade it back immediately. There's no such thing as an even trade.
Oh,
Ratchet makes sure
hook.
of that.
Another hook coming from the Nautilus. Jinx dishing out damages. Jinx Victor from the back dishing out a lot of damage. Nautilus just being the front line, being the tank he is. That's the Mount Drakes right there. And does Karma those go down? Yes, she does. Right now, Nautilus is just the tank they need, and Victor and Jinx from the back just crazy damage.
Victor and Jinx from the back, the arcane duo is just absolutely doing some work. And like you said, bro, this Nautilus with Mountain Soul, I promise you, I saw him take three Zeri Qs, and he did not lose a single sliver, a single molecule of health. I promise you, Ratchet is unstoppable. If there's an MVP vote, and I promise you there's gonna be Ben, let's get the MVP vote in here. My vote for the first game is Ratchet. The game's not even over, but the game's over.
Right now, they're just falling victim to the Victor, to the Jinx. And it looks like BG can't do nothing about it besides let their base get taken.
Let the base get taken. Rush game number 2. Let's see if we can get a better draft, or maybe uh, not take all the kills if we are a captor. But I mean, this is done and dusted right here. You're looking at explosions, abilities, lots of colors, lots of sounds. But the sound we're going to be hearing very, very soon is victory for the Akuma Blades if they decide to focus these Nexus turrets. And why would they? Get the kills, get your stats. You go ahead and make those contract bonuses. I know Ratchet's looking for that contract bonus. If he gets another 10, 20 kills this game, he might get another extra 50K I'm hearing from Akuma Blades. I'm reading his contract right now. So the GOAT James is looking for another couple kills for himself here as they do back out of base. Could they have finished the game right there? Of course. Should they have finished the game right there? Not a chance. Take this game to 45 minutes, rack up your stats, and let's get C9 on the phone.
You know, that is some stuff right there, and that is just it feels bad for VG. And I'm wondering what are they thinking right now. See what they're gonna do for the next game, and see if they're still gonna try to fight for this dub. Because who knows? Maybe Zeri just gets all the shutdowns and comes right back because Zeri is that type of champion to be dumb when fed, and then I just had bad juju, some PTSD when it comes to her. I'm not gonna lie. And looks like AKM getting the Baron. All three inhibs are down, so it looks like this is going to be the beginning of the end of the first round. To Okuma taking the round one.
I gotta disagree with you. I think the beginning of the end was 10 minutes ago. This is the middle. This is like if you ever watched Lord of the Rings. This is like the 11s. This is like second breakfast. This is like almost lunch brunch. Limitless mimosas for Akuma Blades here. They're having fun. These boys are having fun right now. Could we hit this Nexus turret? Sure. Are we? We're hitting champions. We want kills.
Great into coming in from the Lee Sin, but Zeri does get it away. It looks like Zeri is dishing out some damage trying to
Give
fight for the last
Ratchet the
second of her life.
kills.
And boom, goes
Oh my
down.
god,
And Lee
bro.
Sin picking everything up. And Aatrox cleaning up triple kill, going to the Aatrox. And there's game going to Akuma.
And that is game going to Akuma, a 16K gold lead, but no one cares about the gold. We're looking at a 23 kill lead for the Akuma Blades, and they played absolutely out of their minds. They actually they played out of their minds, and that was just a great game from them, especially Hex missed. I said it at like the 5 to 10 minute mark. I think it's about 10 minute mark that he wasn't being as productive. He wasn't being as aggressive, as efficient as as VGA, and he turned it up. He absolutely turned it up, and he came through with that Lee Sin and started going absolutely nuts. Got that Jinx fed, got his Victor back in the game. Because keep in mind that Victor was not having a fun time into that Oriana and was getting ganked. So I mean, you have to just give it up for the whole Blade squad there. Does not matter though. My MVP vote has to go to that Nautilus.
I do agree. Nautilus does set up for the great picks all throughout the map, and if I would give MVP, it would give to the Nautilus as well. So that's it for game one, and we'll be right back and see what VG could do a little bit different on game two coming up. Welcome back to game two of the game five series, VGA versus AKM. Game one going over to Akuma, and let's see what is different in draft in game two.
Yeah, I mean, we saw an absolute, just disturbing display of dominance from both the Lee Sin and the Nautilus in our last game. So I'm very interested to see if VJ decides to ban out Hexmist and Ratchet in this next game. But it looks like there it is. The Nautilus ban is right there. They said no, Ratchet, you hit too many hooks. You were too impactful on the map. You don't get to play this champion anymore. And we'll have to see what he comes out with moving forward.
Yeah, I'm very interested because Jinx is very strong in the meta right now. I think she is one of the top ADCs, even though lifesteal is being taken away, making her weaker than most. But like the lethal tempo is too strong, and her passive is very strong. It's crazy DPS, and let's see if it gets picked for the second time around.
We will definitely see. Uh, we're looking at the same exact bans from the Akuma side, and two ban changes from VGA, the Nautilus and the LeBlanc getting traded for the Kiana and Zed. But like you mentioned, the Jinx is the first pick here. VGA understands how strong the pick is. He said, hold on. We saw Keyboarder go crazy on it. Loki Dosi, we'll take you off of one. Okay, never mind. Actually, what we just did was we just swapped. We swapped late game scaling 80 carries. Loki Dosi said, okay, maybe I should play the Jinx this time because I saw Keyboarder go crazy on it. And Keyboarder is saying, Loki, let me show you how this Zeri is supposed to get played. And then we'll probably see Ratchet pick up his support right here in R2.
Yeah, and it goes for Karma. Karma. It looks like they're just switching picks at this point.
Yeah, I doubt it's going to be Legoat James on the on the Karma top, but maybe. I mean, if that happens, then number two Ginger literally is forced to pick Aatrox. I think Ginger has to pick Aatrox if this Karma does. You just assume Karma's going top. Just pick Aatrox. It's probably going bot lane, but just assume it's going top. And I want to see a mirror match again.
And see how it goes. Let's see how AKM could execute the comp, and let's see what VG has to offer. And it is a Lulu and a Vygar pick, and I am really liking the Lulu pick for the hyper carry for the Jinx ADC.
Yeah, double Yordles with arcane buff there. I mean, you really can't go wrong at all with that. Vagar is actually he's been disgusting, but now he's like pro play disgusting with Predator and that baby Yordle cage. He's absolutely a menace on the map and someone who's someone who can match that energy with perfection is the Akshan. I mean, just an annoying champ, highly mobile, and is able to revive teammates in fights. I mean, just absolutely a disgusting champion. I definitely want to see how he's played around this Vagar though, because you can be very mobile, but you're swinging in a pretty predictable pattern. And if Vagar can put that cage down, it's gonna be a wrap.
Yeah, and Vygar very a menace on his own cage. I have crazy feelings about that cage. It could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing. Bad thing if you're on an enemy team, and especially if you don't have that quick dash to get out of it, that quick response. Viker could like legit steamroll and just keep adding stacks. And honestly, I think it is a great pick.
Definitely is. I mean, you really can't go wrong as long as you play the matchup well. We saw Champagne fan play pretty well early on in the first game with that Oriana dominated lane in the first 10-ish minutes, and then we saw Hexmist start getting active. But yeah, I really like that pick a lot. We're looking at two junglers getting banned here. Junglers you won't really see get banned very often in other leagues, and that is Evelyn and Talia. This tells me that Hexmist uh, obviously can play the super meta picks like a Lee Sin, but if you're drawing Viego, Evelyn, and Talia bands, that tells me that you have a pretty damn wide or just a very unique champion pool. And that is so valuable because you drew bands away from your mid laner here or your top laner.
Very interesting to see Udyr being picked into the Vygar and to the Lulu. And
I love this.
I wonder how it's gonna go. And Trundle, ah, I like it. I like it a lot.
I'm a big fan of this Trundle, especially when Udyr goes into that turtle stance. I'm a Trundle truther, regardless. Weak, strong, whatever it is. We love seeing some Trundle. So I mean, you got the arcane buff. You got two Yordles. Trundle into this Udyr. Now let's go ahead and lock in this Aatrox. Go ahead and lock it in. Oh no, not the Gnar. Look, we need a Karma Top versus Aatrox. We're not gonna get it for game number 2. We saw that matchup works. And we're going to now see who will be playing against this Gnar. What will the GOAT James pick up? Will it be that Aatrox again? Will it be some other wilder pick? I want to maybe see potentially like a Gwen, something with some AP on this top side, because all you have right now is the Karma. Uh, I like Gwen a lot right here, unless you decide to go the mixed build with Udyr, which I don't know if that's strong or not. But there are some mixed builds you can go.
Oh,
It
and
was
it
Karma
is
Top.
a Karma top. Oh, there we go. Karma top and a Blitzcrank into the bot lane. And I don't like it could be a love hate for the Blitzcrank, but I don't see very much kill pressure with the Zeri and the Blitz. But we'll see how it goes if the Blitzcrank's trying to bring the Jinx in so Zeri could do some damage into it. And very like weird comp coming in from the AKM side and see how this goes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit confused because this Blitzcrank looks cool, but like Blitzcrank has two main times where he's very very strong. One is the very early game. You can catch someone off guard with a hook, especially if you decide to invade. And even early like in lane, you can catch someone off guard and try to burst them down. But I don't think I don't think that Legoat, not Legoat, I don't think Keyboard is going to have enough strength that early in the game to really have that much kill pressure on Loki Dosi or Hawkster on the Jinx or Lulu. So I don't know exactly what's going to happen. Maybe later in the game you're looking for a pick, but Jinx is playing at long range. Lulu's not going to be front. It's not going to be the front of the team fight. Veigar is trying to play the back too. And are you really trying to bring a Gnar and a Trundle into your comp? So you're looking at like making 5 head plays, maybe over walls or outside of vision to pick off one of these Yordles or Jinx. But for the most part, I don't see them really playing the front. You have to maybe hope to catch out Veigar using Predator to use his E uh, and trap someone. You grab him from outside on the other side of the cage and you burst him down. That's a very viable strat. But outside of that, like you said, I'm not really feeling this Blitzcrank. Maybe you get him and then you're able to stun him with Udyr and burst. But that comes late game for this comp. I mean, there's not you have Karma in a solo lane, Zeri and Akshan. You're playing to scale, and this Blitzcrank feels like luxury, like putting on a $500,000 watch and you haven't showered in a month. Like you stink, but you shining. I don't know if I like it that
Eh,
much.
I like I said, I do agree with that. And if they're trying to scale off, and VG has a very great scaling too with the Vigar, with the Jinx, and Lulu just to keep them alive. And Trundle, like if Udyr against tanky does go the tanky route, Trundle just gonna ult that and take those stats away and be the front line that VG needs and R for the setup.
Yeah, I mean, if okay, yeah. So if we're gonna like go ahead and talk about what VGA needs to do, I think they just play with they just do what the comp does. I mean, I kind of put it in the reverse light about how Akuma looks like it's gonna be weak into this comp, but I think VGA has a superior composition right now. I said it last game. I think they have an even stronger comp this time. You have the Jinx, you have a Trundle that's good into the jungle. It's a very good matchup there. Um, you have so many ways to have a very strong early game. You have a lot of setup for yourself. If you go in, you have champs that love that, champs that can take away resistances. That makes it much easier for your Jinx and Veigar to do some crazy work. I think if if VGA don't run away with this game, then Akuma Blade just the better team. I think you have to win this game, especially with the risk of going down 2-0 in a BO5. I think this feels like a must win. Not just because of mathematically you need 3 wins to get the victory in the match, but it feels like after that very very disturbing dub for Akuma, VGA needs this for their mental. I can't imagine looking at this comp across the rift and saying It's okay if we lose to this. Just can't see it.
Yeah, and I do agree with you. And let's see how it goes down all in the Rift on game two. And we'll be right back.
Do we fight to hold our heads up high and beat the drum to what we love? Risk the fall, or we have felt it all come crashing down from far above. Stars are rising, countless worlds colliding, only one will take it all. Can we bring to fall the giants? Can we make the final call? We are the ones to ignite the darkened skies, the champions of a world that we
Game two on the way. VG versus AKM best of five series, and see how this game will turn out.
Yep. And if you're a little bit confused as to what you're seeing on your screen, it is a visual bug. We did have a quick little pause to begin. So the scoreboard will show items soon. We're not. It's not that there are chance or players who didn't buy. And there it is, like that, just like magic, as if I summoned it myself. And there it is, the classic start for a Blitzcrank composition. You want to go ahead and try to get a nice little invade off. Doesn't come up for you, but that's just fine. You want to go for that play if you can, and we'll have to see if our thoughts on this matchup do line up with what happens in this game. I'm assuming we're gonna see. Yep, we're gonna look at Captor pathing top side to help out number two Ginger because we saw how that kind of went from the last game. Uh, I like this strat. I like coming for the top side. There's a lot of playmaking that can come out of this Nar, and he will have to do a lot of work because he's one of the few that can go in and survive on this team. And this is a Akuma squad that doesn't mind if you do get in close. They want you to get in close. They prefer that. So it'll be a good chess match to see getting Nar ahead versus looking at trying to play away from what Akuma's win con is in this game.
And let's see what this Blitzcrank can do. Let's see the playmaking. Let's see what Ratchet got in his playmaking style. See if he does actually benefit their team. And I'm just very interested to see that because you already know that Karma is gonna be farming her best it can to get her items and just be there for the team fights. And Vigar is just gonna be farming out in the mid. And let's see if the action can do decent roams throughout the game, and see if they Akuma could catch VG slipping.
Yeah, we'll have to see if that actually works out for them. And you know what? I wanted to see what VG can do in this matchup to bring this series to an even state. Loki Dosi hoping to uh to read this matchup a little bit better, looking to join the Loki Doki Literature Club and hopefully not get hooked by Ratchet. Ratchet showed he's good on one hook champion. If he shows he's good at this Blitzcrank as well, we might see Pike next game. We might see something else. We might see any number of things. Ratchet on the hook champion. If he hits more than a couple Qs in the first 5 minutes, then he might just be goaded.
And well, let's see it. Let's see if it does happen. And I'm very excited to see it. So pokes coming out onto the Blitzcrank. Udyr does taking the blue and the Gromp, and see what is looking at next. And it looks like Nar is securing the topside scuttle, making sure that Udyr's not around. It's going to be a very slow start because the junglers are power farming junglers until they see someone being overstepping their boundaries. And it looks like something is happening in the boss side where they're trying to see if they're going to get a pick onto the Jinx or the Lulu.
We'll see if that actually happens, but I highly doubt it's going to. I'm actually kind of surprised that Loki Dosi uh, is taking these early Krugs. I mean, yeah, you're early game Jinx, so you can, and you are looking at that at Hex Mist at right there in your lane, so you're kind of zoned off the wave, especially with a Blitzcrank right there. You definitely die for sure, but that's a clear indication of trust in your team because if I'm captor, I'm a little bit like I don't want to lose my Krugs that early in the game. That kind of destroys uh, what I'm trying to do. And uh, and Trundle is an early game. Is it one of the strongest early game skirmishers in the entire application? So so I guess losing a little bit of that power is kind of going to be a struggle.
Oh, does he does swing
Mm.
into the cage? He has to flash out because captured right there with the pillar and flash down onto the action, and that could be very detrimental because it is a Vigar, and Vigar does catch you into that cage. He's just gonna get free stacks or potential kill.
Yeah, and we said it before. Like we talked about how mobile uh, really this whole Akuma comp is. But when you're playing that Action into the Vagar, guess what? It don't matter how mobile you are if you touch even the edge of that baby cage. You don't got to be inside it. You don't got to be inside it. But if you do get stunned, you're there for a minute, and you stun, get the pillar right there, got a blow flash. You are in a much worse position than you were before. Repeat gank. I want to see Captor spin the block, come back mid, make a move there, and then parlay that into a dragon take if he can, because an Action with no flash only has one escape. If he's used it to get caught in the cage, then you have 300 gold coming your way.
And right now things are going slow from the top and bottom side. Blitzcrank looking like he's just gonna get a catch onto the Viper.
Oh my
Does
god,
land the hook
he
and
did
kill does go
it!
to the
He
action,
did it!
and it shows why he chose the Blitzcrank. And great
Oh,
job off to Ratchet.
oh no, Predator Blitzcrank, no boot. Well, he did use it. Predator Blitzcrank with the kill on the Vagar. That is so rough. We were just talking about how well Champagne Fan and Captor played that that last engage. And I was saying maybe Captor can spin the block and get a gank onto this flash action and turn that into a dragon. No, I should have just walked with my first guess from Pick Bam instead of Kuma was gonna go ahead and do that. We see an excellent roam from Ratchet.
And Captor off to the top is getting the Karma off to the catch. Let's see if Karma does flashes away from here.
Great
Junk
Q.
and oh,
Oh,
another Blitzcrank from the bottom, another hook, and are they going to finish off the dive? Blitz is taking a little bit more damage. Exhaust goes on to the Udyr, and he still managed to finish a kill.
Polymorph?
Goes on to the Zeri.
Ignited? Polymorph and Ignite? Does he die?
Nope,
Oh,
and he lives, and the gank on the top,
Jesus.
crazy, and finish off with the art, the leap button off to the Vigar. Things are going around the map very early in stage when everyone's hitting their six. It's and right there catches out to the left and right of the map.
Something about this game so far. It's much like the first. Ratchet hitting hooks, getting kills, being impactful on the map, but it's happening earlier than we expected. Now, Captor, after that first attempt at a gank mid lane, didn't come back and get that flash and abuse that his Fluke being flashless. But he learned his lesson. Learned his lesson. A minute later, he goes top, gets the goat. James's flash and says, "You know what? 30 seconds after that happens, I'm coming back with a friend." He brings Champagne Fan and just absolutely destroys him.
Another looking onto the bot lane. Action was camouflage and does get a kill on the Lulu, and 2 kills up on the action. And it might be very scary at this point in the game because the action can get crazy with another. And Blitzcrank is roaming
Pump him up.
down mid,
Pump him up.
saving in his hook.
Press it. Press it.
Hey, he lands it! Oh my goodness!
That's a kill.
Is this
That's a
it?
kill. Blitz.
That is a
Oh.
kill. Doesn't even need the ultimate to finish off the Vigar. And another trading off to the top lane. And oh my goodness! All right, action 3-0 off to the start. 8 minutes into the game.
I'm Wake OG. The answer is absolutely not. Revnon is soft serving that answer. The answer is absolutely not. And you're seeing why right now. This is an absolute just great showing of map awareness from the Akuma Blades. We're seeing more and more roams. Earlier, or last game, we saw roams come in around the 10 to 12 minute mark for some of these champions. We're looking at Fluke going to different lanes. We're looking at Ratchet going to mid lane. Fluke just returns the favor there, and I mean, this is a much more aggressive game early on for the Blades. They said, "Wait, we can win the game late after being behind early on. Let's see if we can just dominate the game from the very beginning." And it looks to me like they're starting off really well with that strategy.
And it's actually holding out for them. Ratchet is a very good player, very skillful, and Thor's gonna hook onto the minute because he really wants to finish off his support item. He'll hook anything at this point.
Yeah, I mean, he's disgusting, right? Like he's just disgusting. But I mean, right now you can just see the the CS lead in the bot lane. Keyboarder is looking like a keyboarder in certain other games. He's just absolutely dominating his lane opponent. And Hex missed. This is the kind of thing that happens though when you're playing someone like an Udyr who can just giga farm into a sheenless Trundle, which I have no idea what that's about. Wait,
And lands another hooks onto the Jinx and just completely obliterates that Jinx. Like I said, getting hooks left and right. Ratchet really showing his prowess into this game too.
Yeah, I think we have to just go ahead and admit that Ratchet might just be the hook goat, hook god potentially even. I mean, he's just absolutely stunning pressing Q. I've never seen someone with so much mastery of. I wonder if he uses his pinky or ring finger. Can someone with insight knowledge? Can someone give me Ratchet on the phone real quick? Does he use the four finger setup or three? Because I want to hit Q's as good as he is, and he is being an absolute menace.
Menace indeed, giving one kill off to the AC and two kills off to the mid laner, and already being very impactful into the game. And we doubted his Blitzcrank,
Mm-hmm.
and he shows
Mm-hmm.
why he chose the Blitzcrank, and there you go. I'm just gonna shut up at this point. Whatever he picks, he could pick anything at this point, and I'm gonna be like, hey, he's gonna do
Uh-oh.
something.
No, 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 no. He's picking Pike next game. He might pick. Can we just name all the Hook champs real quickly? I mean, Renata has a pool. I mean, Swain has a pool. I want to see him pick Swain. If we can go crazy on Nautilus and Blitz, and then go crazy on Swain as well, that would convince me that Ratchet is maybe not the Hook god, but maybe this is the pool god in League of Legends, and he's just been going absolutely nuts this whole game. And I really can't speak, you really can't overstate the impact he's had uh, late game in our game number one, and then early game in game number two. He's showing that while he is a support player, support role might actually be a little bit broken.
and and it goes to show that support does impact the game a lot and
Heavily.
heavily. So and here we go. Let's see if we see another pull from the boss side. And it looks like they are trying to dive the boss side with Udyr and Lulu and Jinx going away. Blitzcrank does pull off his predator. Chondo is there to cover up, counter gank, but it seems like nothing is happening. Pull miss on the Jinx and just gonna take the tower at this point. A lot of plates going into the Zeri. Um, and yeah, and that's it.
I mean, if the CS lead in the bot lane, 40 by the way, it's 4 with a 0 right after it. No kill here. I mean, great Meganar, but there's no kill pressure at all for the Go James.
Flash.
But 40 CS difference for a keyboarder and Loki Dosi, and then 4 plates as well. Forget what I just said about plates. Can we look at the bot lane real quick? This is going to be the tower taken uh, by keyboarder. Actually, on this next wave, it'll happen. But guess what? It's not just him getting advantages. Look at the mini map. Blitzcrank and Udyr making their way to that mid lane. They might get gate kept by Hawkster on the Lulu, but they are deep in enemy territory, taking the jungle. This is so bad because not only are you having a great blind
Oh,
hook.
another hook onto the Lulu. And Udyr coming to finish Kier. And
No.
he flashes. Lulu does get away. Ulting. And see Ratchet on a Q cooldown. See if he's going to look for another one. And Minutes is there. So Ratchet could go into the tower and walk away freely. But another hook over the wall.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I need someone to go ahead and find out Ratchet's address. Send this man a cup and an envelope. I need the results of that test immediately. Blind hooks over the wall. How did he see? There's no way. It's just timing. That's just a timing thing. That's the heart of the cards working in your favor. Pressing Q. I mean, this is what happens when you see Ratchet on the map. He makes plays. Whether it makes sense, it don't matter. He makes plays, and he might just make his team get to the next round of the playoffs with how strong he's been in this game. Whether he gets a kill or not, he'll get sums. And if he don't get sums, he's gonna help you get objectives across the map. So I mean, there's nothing that he can't do. I feel like in this game, and he is gonna continue to be a very strong member for this team. Uh-oh.
Looking up warding warding enemy blue side, and he's just everywhere on the map doing whatever he does feel like. VG needs to start doing so, start making plays, or they are just gonna allow the scale going through, and they're gonna try to believe into the Vigar mid game to late game. So let's see what VG does to answer all this that AKM is putting onto the table.
A lot of attention topside here without a Herald coming up anytime soon. We see four. Well, we saw Vagar up there. It was really 5 at one point. Actually, it was really 6 near the top side. But kind of surprising here. I don't know what the timer is for the next Herald, but it should be fairly soon. But But I mean, while all this is happening on the top side, all this attention going on the top side, look at Action. He's farming by. He's pushing that wave in. He's 30 CS up. He's 3-0. So while we mentioned this Vagar was a very strong pick, Action is getting stronger and he hasn't died yet. So he's gonna be another menace on the map. And when you have so many so many options to carry for the Akuma Blades, I mean it's like being a kid in a candy shop. It's like, do you want to turn? Do I want to turn? Does Ratchet want to win another MVP after this game? The answer to those questions is yes. They all weren't turns, and yes, Ratchet is going to be the MVP after all is said and done in this game number 2. And they're just playing the game so well. Actually, I lied. Harold was already taken, literally right before I said that.
And it looks like Blitz is trying to look for another hook. They are taking down the Herald. It seems like it probably was on cooldown for them to just release a Herald like that. Um, and it seems like they are trying to make a play off the mid, but they are backing. So at this point of the game, let's see what happens because Drake is coming up and within 30 seconds, and it is an Ocean Drake. So Ocean Soul onto the map, and it'll be interesting because that will give them a lot of survivability if they get to the soul point. And pretty excited to see what VG has to do to answer them because they do want a team fight. They have the Viger Cage, they have Dululu to help the Trundle survive to front line, and Jinx in the back line, and Jinx is a very strong ADC. But like I said, let's see how this happens. Are they going to give it over, or they're going to fight for it?
Yeah, I think you have to fight for it. Now, right now, Ocean Soul isn't as strong as it used to be, at least comparatively to other souls. But for this isn't really a poke comp. You do have the Jinx, and I wouldn't really call Vagar a poke champion, but he does try to play from range a little bit. You do want to sustain in these longer fights, and you don't want to just give it up. Now it is 3 dragons to 0, so it may not be a choice right now, especially with a 6K goalie at 17 minutes. You may not have an option. You may not get a say in the matter. But if they have a chance, I think you have to. I think you're forced to fight. I think whether or not you give it up isn't the question. I think you have to fight. You literally have to go ahead and be in that bottom side river in about 4 minutes time because you don't want to give this Ocean Soul over in 20 minutes flat and then have to deal with no real win con against a comp that's already so far ahead of you and you have no position anywhere on the map. It's gonna be a really rough time.
Yeah, like when is it is social so because these fights look like they will extend for a long period of time, and just for them to kill back right afterwards and go for another fight, it will be very disadvantaged for VG. And right now they are fighting over for this Herald and see how what's gonna happen. They are getting the Herald looking a little bit low, but it looks like Herald is gonna reset and the hook goes
Yep.
off, lands onto the Lulu, and see if anything else happens onto the VG side, and they're just gonna be happy with that action. Looking onto the Vigar and Bush, no wards, and see if Vigar can get a sneaky pick onto the action. Good shutdown to the Vigar would really like help them a lot, but I don't think Action's gonna let that happen.
Nah, and you just see that he's so safe staying pushed in this lane. He has the range advantage. And even if Vagar was to use Predator to get up and use that cage, you can always swing out. So while the swing can be a little bit of a something like a Lee Syndrome double Q or a Tristana W.
Looks like
Oh,
almost trying to get on pick into the another pick. Uh, I forgot the name for that. Everfrost into the cage and see Trundle going all into the action, but it looks like Catherine was expecting. Oh, man, goes onto the Lulu and doesn't get a catch off of it.
Ignite.
Ignite finishes them off. A kill going onto the Viger, onto the bot lane, actually sneaking one in. And Catherine really thought he had a little bit more damage to his bite to stop chasing after that. But, and see what happens. Lift action alone comes right back and picks off the Vigar.
This is kind of rough to see because this is a Trundle at 20 minutes who still doesn't have his mythic. Literally everyone else in the game outside of supports have their mythics right now. I mean, this Udyr is well on his way to becoming an absolute just disgusting champion right now. But I mean, this is a Trundle that didn't get Sheen until kind of later, much later than I think you want to in the matchup. And you can see that his ability his attack just doesn't do that much damage. He survives, but he's not the actual like bruiser, the fighter that that he's supposed to be, especially at 20 minutes. He wasn't that in the early game, which is where he really shines. And Trundle definitely look, he does fall off a bit, especially if you're behind, especially if you have like everyone under the sun on Akuma's squad hitting every ability, especially Ratchet. A lot of especiallys, but there is a lot to exclaim about because this is a very, very precarious position that VG finds himself in. You are down 0-1 in a series where game 2 is looking worse than the first. So you got to figure something out. It's only a 8K gold lead for the Blades. Very easy.
And looks like a fight's happening, but Blitz has to flash away, and he's still looking for something, and nothing happens.
Yeah, I think the only way that anything happens for VG here is they have to catch someone out. They really have to catch someone out playing too aggressively and potentially just being just either limit testing or ego playing with the ego. Captor misses the ward there in his
Looks like he's getting caught up by the Udyr and action, and down goes Captor onto the Ignite. Udyr into the cage, but he's alright. As tanky as he is, nothing's gonna happen. But it looks like a TP from the Karma. See if another fight's gonna initiate. Karma getting caught up by Everfoss and does get ulti to death by the Jinx and the Lulu. I mean Jinx and the Vygar, and Gnar wanting some action as well. Does get a catch off to the Udyr, and Blitz does go down. Action does take down the Lulu, bringing back Blitzkrieg alive. Udyr wanting some more. It dies to the Jinx. Everyone's low, and see if Zeri could get a catch, but no, it's still trying to fight trying to get some action. VG is fighting back, getting a 1-for-2 trade into that fight, or 2-for-2, because I don't know if Gnar's still alive.
I think it was Captor who died early. He died and he actually revived. It was a fight. It was a long fight, but
Yes.
But Sunrise, do you know how long the teleport channel is?
Teleport 300. The going into the teleport.
Not yeah. The channel to get from one point to another, like not the cooldown.
I think 5 to 6 seconds.
And that was the amount of time it took for Legoat James to go from I'm helping out my team to maybe I'm griefing. The teleport looked good. It was cool. Coming to the fight, you're Karma. You can get some shields and heals off. You can make an impact. You're a soul laner, so you have a lot more gold than a support Karma would. Then he TP's right in the middle of the fight, immediately gets stunned, immediately gets blown up, and it's a fully fight.
Looks like Action trying to get a pick off to the Lulu, but Trundle was there to save Lulu's life, and it looks like... Oh, I didn't even realize AKM got Dragon Soul. And that looks not so good for VG, and they are starting off to the Baron to see if something happens into this Baron pit. Blitzcrank looking around, does see the Viker onto the little lonesome. Zeri shooting his W, and Viker trying to fight back, and down goes Blitz, turning it around, but Action with the ultimate downtown, getting the kill off on the Blitz, off to the Viker, bringing back the Blitz, and they are fighting. Gnar with the 3-man ultimate, 72 people. Jinx from downtown getting the kill off in the Udyr, and it looks like Karma is next, but right now Zeri's fighting back. Action and Zeri, crazy damage going on to them, and team wipes VG.
Look, this is exactly what you want. I think that VG got exactly what they wanted in that fight. They were able to make a move. You saw the Mega Gnar, the Gnar into the wall. That was the best engage you could have hoped for. You got Captor in there as well. Both of your fighters in the back line, but they couldn't actually make any moves. Keyboarder is way too strong. Yes, he's only 1-0-7. Just got his first kill, but you're looking at Fluke, who's 2-0-0, and then of course Ratchet gonna do what he's doing. I mean, the QRs absolutely going nuts, QERs absolutely going nuts. I mean, the dude is impeccable on these hook champs. He's a very good support player. But I mean, if that was the perfect engage for VG, and I believe it was, I think that was their best chance at making a move this whole game. I'm saying previous to this point and past this point, that was their best chance to do anything. and they failed at it. They're looking at Ocean Soul, looking at Baron, looking at an unkillable team comp right now. I mean, it's just nightmare. It's night.
And knocking up from Dinar couldn't get away. Blitz held him down and actually finished him off. Action with the ulti downtown and see if he does fully kills the Jinx with the Blitzcrank Udyr onto her. And it looks like Action just 12 and 0, just straight taking over to the game with Ratchet's help. Ratchet's been a great impact and influence in what the Action is doing right now, as we're seeing happening right now.
Yeah, and I mean, if you have to look at Ratchet, I mean, he's borderline unkillable and just a menace, like I keep saying. But then you look at Hexmist, and you're looking at the Kim Tank. You have the. I mean, look, the Frozen Heart there as well. So you ain't gonna break through. If you're the Jinx, it's gonna be hard to get through the Blitzcrank and that Udyr, especially with the Karma behind them. And then while you're trying to kill this Udyr with this LDR you picked up last.
Oh,
Wow,
almost kills the Hulu. That's just what was that?
disgusting.
Q auto, damn, and the passive proccing.
Oh,
That's that's insane damage going on to the Lulu from the action. That just goes to show. Goes to show 12-0.
12-0, items. I mean, this is the Giga late game for him. He's already he's alive. He's ready to go. He's online and he is ready to play the game. Number 2 Ginger might be ready to see the gray screen.
And it's fighting off to you, dear. The tanky you there with the karma support. I don't know why he's trying to take those trades in.
He
That's
won't
just not
die here.
happening.
He's not
He
dying.
won't die. He won't die. And looks like Kuma just going into the base, just taking what they want. And at this point, VG is the backs against the wall, and it looks like it's going to be an 0-2
Look at that
start
wave
on a
bot.
best of 5.
Look at that super wave bot ski. And I mean, they're just rotating on the map. Look, the wave bot's going in, so Vagar has to get pulled that side. You have 4 or 5 on the top side, ready to push this top inhibitor all the way down. You have a Trundle and a Lulu trying to protect from this, not really a siege, but I mean, it's you're not gonna take this. I mean, you have to walk away. What do? Fight with no turret? Yeah, there's nothing you can really do if you are VG Ambition. All you can do is get these minions out of your base and then sprint to Elder. I guess because I mean you're in a really rough spot now. Legoat James is the only player on Ambition or on Akuma with teleport. You see that ward right there near the bot side in the base. He really can't teleport to that. He is Karma. There's no real end angle here, but that ward is there, and it's oh we got swept. Okay, Hawkster, smart move, but you still have to fight and win at this Elder.
Yeah, and like right here, like out there will finish off this game if it goes. And again, the pick off to Lulu. Lulu won't be able to do anything to pick BG side. Loki does he trying to run away as fast as he can, and a full ultimate coming on
That's
to the
cute.
Viger, bringing the Udyr back alive. Loki coming trying to go to live, but Zeri catches up because you know how crazy her movement speed is. There's no way Jinx is running away from that, and it looks like that's gonna be game. Game number 2 going on to the Kuma side.
Yeah, we had our questions about the Akuma draft. I think we had a lot of questions about the Akuma draft. But it was just confirmed that Ratchet is a ring finger on Q player, and that is why his Qs look so strong this game. That might have been his first missed Q of his life. So, I mean, right there, the game just ends once again with a 16K gold lead. But who cares about that? It was a 12 kill difference going over to the Akuma Blades. And something I said jokingly at the back end of Pick Bam, going over these comps, I said that if the Blades win this game, for me, if I'm a competitor, I'm thinking if we can beat you with this composition, then you're not going to beat us. This was as much of a strong pick composition as it was a mental warfare. Like a look, guys, you should win this match on paper. Now watch things turn out differently, and that has to be kind of rough. I want to see if VG Unity can turn around this series and make it an actual series and give us the whole 5 game experience. Maybe they can turn around and have a little bit of a Cinderella run in this playoff run here.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm very excited to see the Cinderella story because honestly, those are the best type of stories. Coming back under sweep, reverse sweep, and let's see if VG could do it. And we won't be able to see it until game 3, and that's where we're gonna end off. So see y'all then.
We are the ones to ignite the darkened skies, the champions of the world that we defy. A solar ray of the few who rise up high.
Here we go. Game three. VGA back against the wall. AKM looking like in a very comfortable situation. Let's see what VGA can do in game three, and hopefully they could turn around. And I'm expecting a reverse sweep. I still got hopes up for the team VGA.
Yeah, I think that VGA absolutely has a chance to make this a 5 game series. They're gonna have to start being serious and maybe even look to the stars to find some help. But they have an opportunity here to show that they have a strong mental, that they can come back and make this an actual series. But I don't think they actually want to do that because they have neglected to ban away a single hook champion. This might be a bait though, because Ratchet is so good on Nautilus and Blitzcrank, he can press Q very, very well. I want to see him play a different champion. I said Pike last game. Forget Pike. Put him on
Oh,
Timo. Put Ratchet on Timo and see if he can carry on Timo support, and then I'll be convinced.
and here we go. VGA scrolling around, looking on a hook champ themselves, and they pull out the Nautilus with J4 into the jungle. Okay, I like heavy engaged. VGA wants to legit want to take back their game series and see what AKM has to do and say about that side.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at Nautilus Jarvan. I mean, these are both early game champions that are going to be very, very like the setup for other carries is absolutely just amazing for J4 Nautilus. Uh, I don't want to see, I don't want to see a Galio come out for Champagne fan here, even though there is a Jarvan. But uh, but I like these first 2 picks. This is a very good I think response to the Jinx first pick. But then you give up the Thresh, right? You give up the Jinx Thresh, and it almost makes you think, okay, once again, Ratchet on his third hook champion, if he has a champ that can press Q and immobilize you with something like a hook, you're probably just not gonna have a very fun time into this Akuma squad right here.
And there we go. AKM picking up Thresh, another hook champion, and let's see what he has to say about that. And kids are getting up, and Kaisa. And we don't know if it's going to be a Kaisa mid. I've been seeing that a lot in pro play and a lot of solo duo games that are happening. I'm seeing a lot of Kaisa mid. So who knows? I'm waiting to expect where it's going to be at on the VGA side.
Yeah, I mean, with Kaisa and Nautilus being like a classic duo in the bot lane, my assumption is it's gonna be a Nautilus or a Kaisa 80 carry. Because that's still been pretty strong as well, or decently strong, I would say. Uh, I like something with a little bit more carry potential in the mid lane, something that spikes a little bit early. Because we saw Akuma can win the game late they can destroy the game early. So I think I'd rather try to have a stronger lane uh, moving for this third game of the series if I am VGA. But we've already gone through the first set of picks. We're already into the bands. LeBlanc and Victor taken away from Fluke, two champs that can absolutely carry a game. Uh, and I mean, it's obvious. It's kind of hard. It really is hard to ban out uh, this Akuma squad because it looks like everyone on this team can really be a carry for the squad.
And you're exactly right. Like, give me a champion, and it's gonna something's gonna happen with my hands. That's what Akuma is saying, and just waiting to see what VGA has to pick and see if they can really stop Akuma from doing what they want.
Yeah, and we'll have to see what comes out here. I want to mention that this Kindred pick feels
And it looks like it is a Kaisa
ooh,
mid.
yeah, hey, good call. It is gonna be a Kaisa mid, even though that Kaisa Nautilus duo does have some good synergy. Get that AP Kaisa right there. You have the mixed damage profile with her and Jarvan. You get Zaya in the back line, and she has, some of the best survivability, at least with her ultimate. So that's not a bad it's not a bad situation at all. A lot of lockdown here for VGA, a ton of lockdown, but now you're going into a Jinx Thresh and an Ornn top. I mean, this Akuma squad came to play. Legoat James went with the Aatrox one game, then went with the Karma. Now he's playing Ornn. These guys on Akuma have pretty solid champ pools.
Ooh, I was really excited. I was really excited to see the colleague getting pulled out because if a colleague gets pulled out, it could legit turn around the game in the snap of a finger. But they are hovering over Twisted Fate, and it is being picked onto the Kuma side.
Yeah, and this tells me that Akuma is calling out number two Ginger. You do not get to play the game. You either get to pick something that's safe and that won't get dove, or that won't it's not easy to dive, or you pick something that you like that can potentially get dove and see Fluke pretty often coming through once that six comes, and you match a semi-global with a global ability. You say, okay, I'm Gangplank now. I can use my oranges to get away from that yellow card, and I can make moves across the map without leaving. Fluke has to physically leave where he is to go somewhere else to fight. Gangplank can just sit there and press R and have an effect, whether it's in a fight or it's trying to clear out a wave under tower. So this is a very, very nice response here for VGA. I think this is a potential win con. The thing is, you have to put yourself in a position to be in a good standing in the mid to late game because this Akuma squad, they've shown they can win on comps that don't win on paper. So you're facing a team that can outplay what the numbers say champ should be doing. So you're gonna want to have a really, really solid game, I think, on this Jarvan and on this Gangplank because I think those are gonna be your strongest win cons. Early game setup, and then Gangplank, how he decides to either respond to Twisted Fate or how he uses his R, I think is going to be a very, very big point of attention for this matchup.
And I do agree with you 100%. I do believe that the win con for VGA is going to be depending on how well the Jarvan can keep this Gangplank alive and the Gangplank to make some moves on the top side of the map. And like they're the perfect chance to do so because we all see the Blitzcrank barrels one-shotting ADCs and squishies left and right. But the thing is, you have to get to that point, and the best way to do it is have the jungler camp on top. So I'm very interested to see how Cather is gonna make that happen, unless he looks mid and make this Kaisa mid go crazy, which I'm very excited to see. I think VGA, a lot of it's gonna be dependent onto the Jarvan, and I can't wait to see it on the Rift.
Yeah, great. I honestly, with Captor, you have to make an effect on the map quickly. I mean, a lot of people think that that Jarvan's biggest spike, is that 6, and it is. It's a very big spike, but he can have very strong effects on the map early, like level 3. I've seen level 2 cheeses from Jarvan as well, so that can definitely be an option for him. But you're right. I think that your real options here are trying to enable number 2 Ginger on this Gangplank. He hasn't had a lot of fun this series, or you try to make this Kaisa work. But I think this Kaisa's going to be doing all right, just because if Twisted Fate does decide to Destiny Gate out to somewhere else to dive potentially number 2 Ginger, then Champagne fan can just go ahead and wait. This is Zaya mid. Wait, this is Zaya mid.
Oh, they're switching up to lethality Zaya mid, and that is actually pretty interesting and very annoying to deal with. And I'm not gonna lie, I've seen it many times throughout team play, and I've seen it many times, and a lot of times in a solo duo where Zaya's very hard to kill, and especially going that lethality build, it hurts. Just QE, and you're just gonna see your health bar getting chipped away.
This changes a lot. Actually, I mean, now you have the chance to wait. Zaya mid can definitely punish this Twisted Fate. You leave, she clears that wave, and now she's hitting the tower. I'm a big fan of seeing this Zaya in the mid lane. I actually have not seen it. I haven't cast it in a minute. Me playing solo queue, I can think of 12 different things that I would rather do, and all of them contain 12 other things. And all of those things contain 12 other things I'd rather do. But I love watching the game and seeing how others enjoy it. And I thought that this Kaisa was going to be, that AP variety. You don't have a really strong damage profile unless you go AP Kaisa bot, but I don't know if that's going to be the case here. So, a little bit of a rough situation for VGA. I don't know who else can go AP. Nautilus can go AP, I guess. But you're in for a very, very rough time, especially when Orange just going to be building armor. Uh, it's not going to be very fun for you. You have to absolutely dominate this game, and it's going to be a test, to say the least.
And a test it is. So let's see how the game goes out in the Rift on game 3. And we're out.
One, two, three, come on, make it bounce.
Just cracked open a fresh AM grind coffee, man. CB Clockwork versus Lotus White tonight. We gotta get ahead, cause if we neck and neck, then Necrox wins. You dig? Look, I love Tuesday night cause I get to watch Necrox get carried in multiple ways. Will it be 5 streaks babysitting them? Maybe it's Alucard making some plays. Or will it be Taco and Pants? I know that they suck, but it could be a phase. But what if it's none of the above and he gotta step up with no time to learn the game? What a shame. But it all comes around like clockwork. Billy bout the booty bang your whole roster. Big Coops might got big monsters. Big Dubs got subs, roll swappers. Dory K hit a flay, no flash, green gray. That's another smart pants misplay. Make them think we got shotguns and smokes. How we about to put Lotus in their graves? Clockwork finna win 3-0. AM grind got us playing like a cheat code. All on speakers, big facts, no memes, bro. Lotus White can't see us like a Timo. Clockwork finna win 3-0. AM grind got us playing like a cheat code. All on speakers, big facts, no memes, bro. Lotus White can't see us like a Timo. We banning out Zion and Silver. Watch that bot lane and fail to deliver. Composition is full of some sinners. Treat them flowers like bots for beginners. Come and talk off shit, it's just pitiful. He keep his deaths under 10, it's a miracle. We brought a goat off the bench with a question. Why are you running your fears and still? You see what we did to redacted? Make a proof disappear like it's magic. This series should go on the class. Triple swapping the bot, this the gas. Coop show, take flashes.
All right, game 3. Will this be the final game, or will this be the start of the Cinderella story? Who's to know? AKM up 2, VG down 0.
Yeah, down 2-0, but the dream is still alive as long as there is a will. There is someone who has unfortunately passed away, but that's fine because there is also a way into this becoming a 5-game series. It's gonna have to start early for this team. Let's be honest. VG has not shown that they are an extremely strong team that can take advantage of some of the small mistakes that Akuma has made so far. But I do believe that they should be able to make better moves now. I want to see how this. Oh wait, they switched it. Oh, so it's Loki. Loki Dosi is going to be playing mid. Did he just swap? Why is the? I think we just swapped the icons here on the side. But it's going to be Kaisa going bot side and Zaya going mid as we expected. But I thought we had something cheeky there with
Will the champion swap with the players?
yeah.
That would have been that would be very interesting to see if they would have like shocked AKM a little bit because of different play styles of different people. And Knowledge does land a hook onto the Thresh. Thresh taking a lot of damage and being half held. Let's see how this pans out. Thresh is looking for something back. Ratchet wants to look for something. Ward going out, looking for the vision, and I'm not able to see the rest of it. And it looks like Ratchet just took the bit of damage to see if he heals it back with the pots he has. And hook coming in from the Knowledge. VG, we're looking very aggressive onto the bot side. Trades going out through the mid and to the top. Kaisa, Zaya doing good damage onto the TF. Like I said, QE, little by little, it's gonna.
Did it hit? I think it did hit, actually.
Oh,
But either way, you're right. Kaisa doing just fine so far in this lane. Longsword start, you're gonna be very, very safe in this. You can just go ahead and make that move happen. Does opt into the cookies just to be sure. A little bit of mana regen don't hurt nobody. But you can see just getting throwing those feathers out, pulling them back in. I mean, it's gonna be a very, very annoying day for this TF. Ooh.
trades going off to the top side. GP taking a lot of mini aggro onto it, losing the trade. Orin looking very strong. And Kindred on the bot side. Zaya trying to check the bottom bush, but it looks like she is going down from Stunkhark onto the TF, going on to TF. Then it's 1-1-0 AKM and VG.
Well, AKM Fluke has to go ahead and use the flash, but secures 400 gold for his trouble, so he'll be just fine. And I was saying that Loki Dosi was looking pretty good. Loki, Champagne fan was looking pretty good on this Zaya in the mid lane, looking like he was holding his own. But then you see the gank come in. He walks and face checks that brush while he's pushed in lane, and that's just the dinner bell for X missed. Fluke gets the kill, and now he's feeling a lot better about the position right now.
Yeah, and like I said before, it's Captain's job is to make plays around to the map, but it is the solo laner's job to stay alive for Captain to do something as well. and it looks like kind of getting a little bit of help from the Nautilus, taking the chickens, taking but Kindred onto the top side. Hexmith looking onto the GP. GP looking a little overextended. Orin does land the knockup to see if. Oh, they're just waiting for dinner to be served on the GP, and GP is doing the best he can. Just gonna give it to the Orange so it does not give stacks to the Kitchen. Very smart play. If you're gonna die, just give it to the not give anybody stacks. And the catcher looking onto the bottom and goes away. Nada's looking very, very low.
Yeah, but no kill there. Now look, Legoat James getting that kill. That's all right. I mean, it's cool. I actually don't mind Orange getting gold because I know that Orange has some crazy burst damage that a lot of people tend to disrespect, and everyone knows. I think everyone knows he has that burst potential, but it's just so hard to think of Orange as anything but a tank, even though he's like literally everything on the planet. But it's easy to get fooled by his appearance. It's like he's a big bulky tank, and then get bursted down. So I don't mind him being a little tankier, getting a little bit more gold. I won't lie, I haven't seen tier Ornn before. So I mean, he now has 3 starting items in his inventory. I want to know how well. I'm assuming Fimble Winter
The
Ornn's gonna look.
Fimble, yeah, that's what I'm also thinking as well. Is that Fimble Winter, and he is doing great damage onto the GP. GP trying to kite back with the grasp rock, and GP looking a little low, and Trade's going off in the mid lane. And Zaya is a very strong mid lane pick. Like I said, the QEs, but I'm just oh, and it looks like VG is going for the Drake, and they do get it. But again, GP getting caught out once again, and this time Kindred is gonna get the stack.
Great. That's good. Love to see that. Does hit 6 off that kill as well, so we'll be even stronger after getting that 300 gold. I mean, you just spin the block, come right back, and make sure that you're able to get this gangplank. Not feeling too good about the situation. I mean, you're losing. You're down 13 CS to an Ornn. Yes, you have been ganked twice, but you don't expect that, right? You see an Ornn lane, you don't expect it to get attention. But it's all good because I mean, Akuma Blades can do unconventional things and get away with it. We've seen that time and time again in this series, and it looks like it's hard to punish this team.
And very hard indeed, because like I said, the solo players are overextending quite a bit. They have to put Vision down so they can stop the Kendrick from going, but Kendrick can jump over the walls, go around Vision, and it looks like Orange going all in with the ultimate. They're bursting him down. Is he going to finish off the kill? But GP, with the help of Turret, turns it around onto the Orange and kill onto the VG side.
I'm not mad at that because I know for a fact that that is a that's an ego play. That was definitely let me see if I can do this to you. He gets the knock up. He gets the Ornn horn coming through. So you're in a bounce house. But when you press R as Gangplank, it is a global ability. But sometimes you drop it right on top of yourself. You can secure a kill from an Ornn who got a little too big for his britches. So now number 2 Ginger has found a way, kinda potentially back into this matchup. We'll see how he moves forward. But that was a situation where if he does die there and he's 0-3 and the wave's pushing in, he is in a horrible spot. So we potentially saved himself the rest of this game for him by getting that kill with his ult.
And it looks like Bot's waiting for something on Thresh and Jinx. Look at R for something. Flash, Twisted Fate is ulting in, getting the Nautilus off guard, and Ratchet does land to the hook. And down goes Nautilus. They can't do nothing about it. Ratchet with another amazing hook.
That was crazy. You saw Hawkster flash over the I think it was the Chompers. Then Ratchet's able to hook him into them.
Oh, it looks like Captor catching off Fluke onto the bottom of the jungle. Does get a kill onto Captor. Does secure that kill.
That was a heads-up play from Captor, just finding Fluke roaming back, or not roaming, but returning back to the mid lane. Doesn't take a safe path. You can see on the mini-map where the blue skull is, at right past Tribrush.
Another fight on to the top, but looks like GP is going to be winning off to the trade, and Orin running back to his tower.
Yeah, I mean, Legoat James uh, might have wanted to go for that last time, but won't happen here. Now you will see he will have his ult before Ginger, but yeah, Hawkster is here, saying giving his best Ratchet impression, roaming around the map, making moves, maybe saving some of his teammates. But now Captor able to get out of there with no problem at all. There is no ward, so he can't see what's happening. But I think we're gonna get a fight before we get like some crazy damage.
All right, now I think Kendrick got another stack off on to the chickens, and that's two stacks now, two more, and it starts to get dangerous because Kendrick with the four stacks, and to get the longer range and the more attack damage, Kendrick could be very scary into the mid game start of this whole the mid game series, the mid game.
Yeah, I mean, the earlier you can get those stacks, the better. Um, and I mean, Hex missed. I don't doubt he can do it. After seeing his first two games, one on the Lee Sin, and then I believe it was the Udyr. I have to just assume and believe that this that this Kindred pick is gonna look amazing on him as well. There's some positioning here going on for the Dragon.
Looks like Cather is trying to get something off in the boss side, but Kindred on top Hex. Flash just in the GP. Doesn't look like he's going to go anywhere. Kindred does finish off the kill onto the GP. Now another stack going onto the Kindred. Did it finish? Did he finish the stack?
I don't know if we can get like a quick look at that after this. There's a lot of action going on. Hexmas gets
Oh,
killed and then gets the Herald. Probably gonna give away this Dragon here unless his team is ready to make a move and try brush. I doubt it. Waves pushed. No real reason to go in there.
uh,
Riskily,
looks
and you
like
get the better objective. You get the better objective here. You get Herald and you get some gold to someone. Not the
it
Orn.
look it looks like it's going to be a Inferno So on this game with second Drake going into VG side. VG is doing a good job trying to secure Dragon when they can, and it looks like a dive is going to happen on the top side of things. And Harold does go up, going to finish the tower when he does connect.
No ult.
Kidra looking onto the GP. Orin coming in, see if he does land the launch up, and he does. Another kill goes onto the Kindred. Another fight happening into the mid lane with Zaya, but it doesn't look like that much is going to happen afterwards. But she is getting damage onto the TFC if she does get this tower. Looks like something else is happening onto the bot lane, but I don't think nothing will. TF had to flash away from the Zyra QE combo. And two turns off in the top lane, I barely even noticed that. And maybe Herald is going to go off to another third turret.
He pushed the Herald away so the turret wouldn't get any aggro on him so he could get the charge. That is a heads up play from Hexmas using the very, very, very terrible minion block that this game has and is able to keep the Herald alive. Honestly, look, Sunrise. I know it's not like the wildest play ever. He's not like out here on an insect or doing some crazy plays like what Faker. What was that? But it's a heads up play that you could easily make a mistake on. You can just like autopilot and forget about it. It's so easy to not think about that kind of thing, but seeing him do it just shows just how impactful he can be. Hold on.
Another fight and happening into the main lane with Orin and GP. Captain trying to come back and help the Orin out, but Orin is a little bit too tanky. TF does finish the kill off to the back, and Orin does get caught out from Zaya, getting that snare root in, and 1-for-1 going on both sides of the fence.
6 flash pings coming out from Orn, letting the team know that yes, Champagne fan did indeed press that F button. Actually, no, Champagne fan is a glasher. Also, Champagne fan went flash teleport he's a mid laner. I keep forgetting. I'm seeing him in the bot lane right now on the indicator. But yeah, he was mid laner. That makes sense. But still, heads up play again from Akuma. They're just playing outrageous right now.
And let's see if the chase is on between the Zaya and the Kindred. See if Wolf smells. But Zaya is going to TP out into safety. Does make it through. And Zaya lives for another fight.
That was the reverse caster curse where I almost criticized the teleport and it immediately helps out Champagne fan. So that's great to see. I think I misspoke and said it was a great play from Akuma. Has a play. That was a good play from DJ Ambition. Doesn't
Oh,
matter because
looks
it's
caught out. Catch out from Cather. Little did he know, Orange sitting in bush waiting for a rotation.
no.
And it looks like a dive is going to happen onto the bot lane. Kindred initiating the fight. Does
Hey,
ulti to stall time for his team to catch up. And let's see if he goes through. And Kaisa does
nah,
get the shutdown. That is
no.
very good for the VG side. And it looks like Orin is also getting caught out. Flash coming from the Nautilus Autos hooks. And
Wait, he
down.
landed?
Oh, Thresh Lantern
No.
from downtown saves Orange
Lazar?
live.
Do it. Do it. Do it, Loki. No.
And that's
Oh,
it. And that's it. And another fight happening on the top lane. A lot of damage coming down to the TF, and down goes TF. Hook lands on Kaisa. A lot of things happening around the map. Thresh does get. Oh, almost survived the flashes out, but gets finished off with the last auto passive from Kaisa, doing health missing health damage. And 2-0 Kaisen. This is something where VG wants to be. That's where Kaisen want to be, because once she gets those early items, once she gets to the empowered W, all she got to do is just sit a mile away and just be a sniper in the map.
Oh, I agree. And part of this is, I think it's one part Akuma kind of limit testing a little bit. Another part, VG Ambition taking advantage of their uh, of their strengths on the map. They're able to punish a lot better than they were in the first two games. They're being a lot more proactive on the map, and you're seeing, I think, especially Captor, looking like he's making better moves than he did early on in game number one. Number two, Ginger has died 5 times, but he also has been able to get 2 kills in response to Legoat James being a little bit too aggressive a couple times, limit testing. So there is gold being generated for this squad. It is a 2K gold uh, difference here for them, but I really do think that they're in the best spot they have been in this series at the 15-minute mark.
And that is true. And um the more gold that is generated into the Kaisen, into that team, the better it is for the VG. Even if it stalls out because Twisted Fate falls off and they gotta depend onto the Jinx and onto the Kindred, but it doesn't mean that Twisted Fate will be useless. It just depends how great the GP will be, and how fast he could get into his three item spike, crits, and one shot goes, and who knows, ADC could be 10-0, but when that GP gets those items, you'll ADC's bye bye, Squishy's bye bye.
Oh, I thought that that sound for the getting to the the base, I thought it was a flash because I didn't see it yet. The auto came a little early. I thought that number two Ginger accidentally flashed. I thought someone accidentally flashed there. But yeah, I mean, you're looking at Soul Point for VG Ambition right here. You're looking at a very strong Kaisa, like you mentioned earlier, and a gangplank that, while behind, can still have an impact on the map wherever he is. So, but the game's not over yet. The game's not over because you know that Ornn gives effective gold once he hits that, starts giving out those items. His teammates get stronger as Kindred does get more stacks. I don't know if we're at 4 yet or not, but she will also become a much stronger enemy on the map. And you know what Jinx does. So you have 280 carries and the pick potential of an Ornn, TF, and Thresh. Those are very, very huge threats, and they are ahead in gold. The Blades are, but I still do believe this game is in VG Ambition's hands, and they have a strong chance to win it.
That is very true, and that's what we've been waiting for from the VG side. We're just waiting for this reverse sweep, and it looks like a fight's gonna happen into the bot side, the bottom side jungle's red side, and nothing happens. And back to it, like I said, we want VG to turn around, make this into an interesting 5-game series, and see if they're done, tired of taking it. And this proves to here that they are here to fight.
Yeah, here to fight, here to make something. Hold on.
They are looking onto the Orin. Everything going onto the Orin. Doesn't look like Orin's getting out anytime soon. Thresh with the saving life lantern. Orin couldn't be not as quick enough to save the Orin's life, and it does go onto the VG side.
Mm, nah, no, I don't like that. That to me looks like Legoat James trying to extend the series. Why was he walking down river right there at that time? All five members are mid. There's no dragon up. There's no objective anywhere. It's just Baron coming up, but neither team has good Baron take right now. I don't know why he was walking down river, going through line brush, with the team like not ready to follow up. And I don't know that I've seen him. The two games I saw him play before, he had like great awareness. That was either an extreme ego play or let's go five situation.
And it looks like Kendrick trying to hunt down the GP, but the GP is turning around. Great job kiting it. Jarvan all in, but Kendrick uses his ultimate to stay alive. Orin comes in, and J4 does die in the hands of Orin, and now it's the GP's turn being chased down, flashes away. Great damage to the TF, just only having one crit item in the Serrated Dirk.
Yeah, and right, right again, right on time. You see another a great proactive play from Akuma. They come through with a double TP, get that response kill onto Captor. No objective on the map right now. There's an unrealistic Baron that is available, but no one's taking that. And you give yourself a chance if you are the Blades to get back in this matchup. You have lost 1,000 of what was a 2K gold lead about 2-3 minutes ago, but you still feel fine. You know you can get kills when you want to. I think the really the only thing that can beat the Blades is themselves. But I think that VG need desperately to make a move for this dragon here. You don't want to wait another 5 minutes. Like, giving the dragon over is cool because I mean it's all right like, in your mind because like you have more time. It's 3-0, but you don't want to give this Jinx more time. You don't want to give this Kindred more time. What is it's only gonna get rough.
It looks like a hook's landing from both sides of the fence, but Thresh hooks lands more, and ultimate onto the Kindred. Both supports living with slither of health, and Kaisa does have the empowered W, so she is getting those resets when she lands those W, and every time she lands those W's, there's a good chunk of health going down, and they're out there poking each other down. Another W landed. Uh, um, and see how this goes. TF is looking for a gold card around, and nothing is happening so far, and let's see if there's a catch made in the mid side of the map.
Yeah, that last W missed,
And Thresh going in, flash
Wait,
onto the
what?
catcher, but
Flash
misses
in?
everything. Zaya does go down.
You use the feather storm to avoid getting hit, and then you flash in. I am a little bit confused, but I guess we don't like Dragon Soul. That's 100% fine though. Fight's gonna ensue.
GP does doing a lot of damage onto his barrels. Is looking onto the Jinx, but AKM does get the dragon off, which ensures the Jinx passes to get to the way, and she's taking over to the mat, taking over the game, making it Nautilus does land a hook onto the wall, but is it enough? No, it's not. Double kill going onto the Kindred.
This reminds me a little bit of last season Donwon Kia in the LCK when you just see game after game after game of them hard losing early for content. They were so good last year that they would just lose on purpose, or lose early on purpose just to come back and see if they could. And that's what it looks like Akuma's doing right now. Like they got a little bit of a lead, then they trolled a little bit, and now they're looking like they're playing seriously again. They're just out of their mind right now. They're looking on a different level. Thimblewinter and Sunfire finished for the Goat James on this horn. Plus he has grasp. I mean, and the bramble vest right there. You may as well not even try to attack him. You're not gonna do nothing to him, honestly. Just let him live his life. Live and let live.
And it looks like it is interesting happening into the Baron side, chunking down onto the Kindred and to the TF. Jinxo coming downtown, and Kaisa is very low to see if she could just be throwing W's into the match. But Orange too tanky, does get a kill off the J4. Orange does die, and it is a 1-for-1 trade. And see if anything else does ensure VG is very looking very low, and AKM looking very healthy. And does he land a gold card? No, just an auto away onto the Zaya. And it looks like they are pushing tower. VG very low, very scary. Anything could happen at this point, and nothing does happen. And looks like AKM on the driver's seat at this point in time.
Yeah, it looks like Akuma really did. They traded their Ornn for enemy jungler who was trying to go for just trying to be in that Baron area. By the way, so I mean that's a very fair trade. I feel like for the Blades, but we and they extended the lead again. They had a 2K lead, 2K gold lead. Then it fell up to 1K, and now it's coming back to 3.5. And rising quickly. Next dragon up in 2.5 minutes, and we're now at a reasonable position where we can maybe think about threatening Baron. And it looks like the the mark is on Baron, so we'll see what Hexmas is looking like doing here. It looks like both teams are trying to position to get some vision here, but you can see it's lit up blue. It is blue face baby in that top side river for the side of the Akuma Blades.
Oh, if if the mark is on Baron, that's already give takes 6, 7 stacks
He has
onto
a
the
lot. Oh yeah.
Kindred. Yeah, he has a lot of stacks, and that is very deadly in this point in time in the game. And being 6-1, at this point, Kindred, if we see someone off a rotation, he'll kill him right now, just as he's doing to the J4. GP being nothing. He's still chasing down on the J4. Does he get the kill? No, he doesn't. But lets him. But he chunks him out. Is going on the Nautilus, and Nautilus on his own, being caught out by the AKM team.
This like the Nautilus I saw in game number 1 a little bit.
Yes.
But that's just fine because there is still a way to win
Oh,
this
hook
game.
onto the Kaisa, and see if
That-
they does. And does Kaisa get away? No, she does not. Jinx with the power passive on. Zaya does get caught out onto that line bush. Three people down on the VG side. It looks like another catch is going to GP. GP Orange flashes into TF, but TF Zonius away and gets his J4, baited his old teammate to go all in, and both die, and it's an unofficial team wipe.
Unofficial team wipe. Yeah, as soon as I said this isn't the Nautilus I recognized from game 1, Ratchet responds with a hook. He says, okay, let me press my Q button expeditiously. And, I mean, when Ratchet presses the Q button with his ring finger, by the way, a lot of bad things happen, or good things depending on which side of the rift you're on. But let me tell you something about Ratchet 00. He will be getting a call from Jack. He might be getting a call from Joe Marsh. He might be getting a call from me. I might start a team because this man is absolutely disgusting on these hook champions. I wish I could see him play something a little bit more troll and see if he can carry on like a Timo support or even Shaco support. But I mean, we're seeing an absolute masterclass right now from Ratchet, and it's so nice to see a support player, having as strong of an impact as he is as the dragon just disappears, evaporates.
Oh man, 4 Infernals going on to. Imagine getting 4 Infernals. That's just damage speeding out from the TF and from the Jinx Roxette. Oh, but Kendrick does get caught out by the Zaya, and it looks like Orange is next. Double kill onto the Thresh, and Jarvan ulting the Orange, and GP. VG is trying to fight something back. They are looking for something back. J4 does land the knock. Kills going into the Kaisa. A lot of kills going into the Kaisa, and this is something VG wants. And they're not turning tail yet. They still want to be in this. And yeah, VG stayed that they're still here. They're still trying to fight for a potential Game 3 win.
Yeah, trying to fight for a potential Game 3 win, pushing down to that inner mid lane turret. And yeah, they entered an unofficial wipe with a 3-man kill there on the side for the Blaze. So the goat James gets caught out for no reason. Oh, there it is. Hello?
Oh, number 2 down for the count. Great job, James, gaining that damage, landing a rocket, and TF finishing it off with a flash auto gold card. Zaya does ulti out, does kill the TF with the ulti. There it is, the lethality Zaya showing what she does. All you gotta do, QE. But Orin coming from the TP flank and trying to catch someone out. Does it look like anybody's gonna go down? And it looks like Nautilus is the first one to go. Zaya with no ultimate. She is the next person to go down. Both kills going on to the Kindred. They are finishing off tower. Kaisa landing W's. See if she can stop and prevent them from pushing even more. They still have Baron buff. It looks like Orange gonna take it. Get another tower. While actually topside is pushing with super minions as I think. And yet nope, they're just in here, just top pushing, and they can't do anything about it. One inhib down, going to the next inhib. Kendrick looking a little low, Orin looking a little low. The Kaiser's landing W's, Thresh landing another hook, but they are on retreat mode. Kaiser does get a
Two
pick off to
kills.
the Thresh, getting another kill onto the Jinx, double kill going onto the Kaiser. Great job, Loki Dosi, trying to keep his team alive, but AKM does take a lot away in BG's side of the map.
1,100 gold just went straight to that Kaisa. What does she buy? She has a Dirk right now. Instantly, sells it and gets double needlessly large rods. Wow. This Kaisa is different. Hey, once that hat's finished, you get hit with a W. The only person who's living is Legoat James. No one's surviving getting hit with a W from Loki Dosi anytime soon. As when that hat's finished, we could be going to game number 4 in this series. But Seoul is going to be on the map for the third time without 2 minutes, and we'll definitely see a fight then. If how I've been playing so far is any indicator, we'll probably get 2 fights before that. We've had 37 and 30 minutes, 37 kills in 37 minutes, that is. But traditional wisdom would tell you that we just farm, get position for the next 2 minutes, and try to get some vision onto that dragon, which you can see is heavily awarded in favor of VG Ambition. So that's a very good sign for this series' longevity. But I mean, we're gonna fight. We're gonna
Oh,
fight.
another catch going onto the top side. GP on his lonesome self, meeting with 4 AKM players, trying to do what he can onto the Kendra, but can't do nothing at all, and dies to the hands of Jinx. Kaisa pulling out W's, and see Jinx looking a little low. Dragon coming up in a minute and 10 seconds. Just enough time for them to come back and respond, but Kaisa's still throwing out W's. And great
Mm.
catch on for Nakuma's side. GP on his lonesome self.
Number 2, Ginger getting the direst treatment. He don't deserve it, but it is what it is. Honestly, I mean, he is just getting. Why are there 4 members of Akuma there? Top side to punish him. I don't know, but it was absolutely just a dominating a dominating play there from the Blades. 40 seconds on this dragon. The the river isn't quite lit as red as it was before. They have the flanks warded out. They have the entrances warded out. So any any positioning to get into this pit is gonna be seen. Ratchet clearing this river brush. But Dragon gonna be up very soon. We're gonna see a fight. We're gonna see them fight very quickly, and it's gonna be a fast one. How many are gonna see?
And Kendra, hooray, autoing over the wall,
Aggressive.
making the G4 low. Now saving J4's life with the locket. And right now, looking like AKM really wants this third Inferno Drake, make it into a sole point. And they're pushing up, see if they get a catch from the Orin. Orin lands a double knockup onto the Zaya and to the Kaisa, both looking low. But AKM's backline needs to hurry up and help the Orin out. And Orin's low, but he still manages to stay alive, keeping everyone low. GP does land a barrel, killing 2 people with Orin on the side, and it goes on to the VG side.
Wow. Yeah, I was gonna say when I saw Legoat James engage, I was gonna say Thimblewinter diff because he had Thimblewinter, Sunfire, and I think he only just now finished his Frozen Heart, but he was a tanky boy, right? That engage did not work, and it might lose them the game right here. On one hand, it's kind of tough to see a team and just kind of leave, give it up. But in another sense, it is good to see this not be a 3-0 sweepiness next, and we do get a team to go.
Wow. Wow, like I predicted, 3 items GP will make ADCs delete. Kaisa being fed, being the resources being fed into her, W's all day long, just crazy amount of damage what that champion can do. Both turn the game around.
Yeah, I mean, and part of it I think is Part of it is that VG Ambition did come back and they did play a much stronger game in game number 3 than their previous two. Part of it, I gotta say, felt a little bit like the Akuma Blades limit testing a bit, going in when maybe you probably shouldn't, and sometimes taking fights just to see what you can do, press your buttons and see what happens, see what the numbers say. But still, I think that this was a very good showing. Like I said, this was a must win. Uh, well, that was the last game, but this obviously was a must win for VG Ambition, and maybe they can swing the momentum because this wasn't like a dominating game. They came back. They made a play to come back, and they lost that lead again. And they came back again, and after a really bursty fight, they win the game. So we may see momentum switch. We may see VG Ambition turn this to a 5 game series.
And I do agree with that. And let's see what next drafts have to offer because now it's either VG on the driver's seat or Kuma just, you know what, we're going to turn it up last game of the day. So, see you guys then.
Do we fight to hold our heads up high and beat the drums to what we love? Risk the fall, oh, we have felt it all come crashing down from far above. Stars are rising, countless worlds colliding, only one will take it all. Can we bring to fall the giants? Can we make the final call? We are the ones to ignite the darkened skies, the champions of a world that we defy. madness when the curtain falls. Risk it all, hold nothing back. Seize the day, we must attack. Stars are rising, countless worlds colliding. Only one will take it all. Can we bring to fall the giants? Can we make the final call? We are the ones to ignite the darkened skies. The champions of a world that we defy. A soul array of the few who rise up high. And we all fight at the Can we bring to fall the giants? Can we bring to fall the giants? Can we bring to fall the giants? Can we bring to fall the giants?
Game 4 on the best of 5 series. VGA took a good win under AKM, something that they really needed. But AKM still need one more game to finish it off. Let's see what VGA could do, trying to do a reverse sweep. Let's see it.
Yeah, trying to pull off the reverse sweep in this first round of the playoffs here in the ADL. And we're looking at these bands coming through, very familiar faces coming through. We're just looking at VGA VGA once again going for the blue side, banning out that Viego and this Lilia band from Akuma. We've seen it every single game. Captor must be the best Lilia player on the server uh, to keep drawing this one. But yeah, these are very consistent bands. Akuma knows what VJ loves to play, what their win cons are, and for the most part of this series, they've uh, they've they've capitalized on those advantages.
And that is true. AKM looking like a very strong team. VGA is fighting for their lives, fighting, trying to make it to, finishing on semifinals so they can make it to the finals. And that's something I like to see from a team. I always like an underdog story. Always love a reverse sweep. And they went a very untraditional comp on their side, and let's see if they go untraditional again. And I'm very interested to see.
Yeah, we will definitely see what's going on here. Nautilus band, making sure that my guy Ratchet is not able to pick at least one hook champ, but the Bard, the quickest lock in of your entire life. The Bard slips through. Akuma has banned this every single game so far. And it looks like Hawkster is allowed to play the game. Looks like Hawkster has been allowed, he's been permitted to play the game. And some inside knowledge, it's a little peek behind the curtain. As soon as that was locked in, Hawkster types in the chat, I literally don't have counters. I love to see that kind of energy and from a team down 1-2. I want to see him prove himself correct. And against a guy like Ratchet, those are very, very strong words. Let's see how it turns out in the game.
And Ash pick going onto the AKM side, and who knows? As then it solidified Ash ADC Thresh support another hook trap. See if Ratchet could redeem himself onto the threat. See if we see more nasty hooks, more nasty saves, and see what AKM has to offer, because it is could be a catchy lane. Ash ult Thresh hooks.
Mm-hmm. A lot of setup there. It's a utility AD carry, so I mean, just the ability to be strong yourself, but also enable your team with the setup is amazing. I mean, you got pull into the box, the China Crystal Arrow. I mean, there's so much lockdown and CC in this bot lane alone. I can just imagine when the jungler gets picked, there's going to be even more setup. So like, there's going to be the potential for some very strong moves here from Akuma. But the Zaya pick again here, VGA. I'm not a big Zaya fan, honestly, but she's safe, does some pretty good damage. and is probably going to do well in this Bard lane. I won't lie, I have no idea what a Zaya Bard lane looks like, but I imagine it shouldn't have crazy trouble into this Ash Thresh. The big thing is going to be how Hawkster decides to roam on the support.
Yeah, and we see Zinzao getting picked on the VGA side. We've seen that game one, very effective early game, and Lee Sin. So it's going to be the same jungle matchup in the early game. Let's see what difference is in the fourth game come around.
Yeah, we'll see if Fluke, I'm sorry, if Hexmist is able to give us a bit of a repeat from that first game on Lee Sin. If you remember, he had a very slow start on it. I Caster blessed him. I said he wasn't making moves, he wasn't being as proactive as Captor, and as soon as I said it, a minute later, he goes off and starts getting double kills and starts helping Keyboarder and Fluke get some crazy amount of kills in that first game at like around the 15-20 minute mark. So I'm hoping to see late game Hex Mist a little bit earlier on this Lee Sim, but so far I'm really digging this Akuma draft.
And let's see what's going on the next pick that Kuma has for us.
Yeah, as this pick comes in, we'll be looking at just two more mid laners banned away from VGA and then the Gangplank. We don't want to see Ginger on that one again, as the Vex is being hovered right now.
Oh, amazing catch potential, Ash ult. And we go back to the Victor. A very solid Victor we saw from game one, and I don't mind seeing it again. Uh,
Mhm.
and let's see if it's more of a repeat, or let's see if things could be a little bit more spicy because of the Ash picks and the Thresh hooks.
Yeah, this should make Victor's job a little bit easier. There's a lot more setup for him to land his abilities, and he's gonna scale very well. I wouldn't call Ash like one of those late game scaling champions, but she can be strong
Ooh,
if you let her. Ooh, okay. Mid,
okay.
wait, mid Zaya or mid Kog'Maw?
I would bet
That's
you
a
it's
great
a
comp.
mid. It'd probably be mid cog, AP cog, and could be very nasty mid game if you leave if that cog is left on its own devices. That cog could be very scary.
Yeah, this is actually surprising. I did not expect to see a Kog'Maw in this game. But we'll have to see exactly where it goes. I feel like Kog'Maw Bard sounds way worse than Zaya Bard, but I could be wrong. I think you're right about Kog'Maw going mid here. And then we see I thought it was locked in. Rumble is hovered right now. It would be a Rumble top if it were to get locked in. Oh no. Oh no, the Darius does
Oh.
get locked in from the Goat James. He has to use the hoop skin if he has to name the Goat James. But this Darius, we'll see what happens here. This is definitely one of those picks where he's saying, okay, let's go. Let's go ahead. I know you're Orin. Let's go ahead and get it, Ginger. Let's go ahead and let's handle our business here. Uh, I don't know how well it fits into the comp itself. You don't see very much Darius, but but um but I do like his ability to be around objective fights when it's all clustered. Like already, I mean, you see the Ash and the Victor. They have great zoning already. If you're coming to the river, if they're already set up on objectives, it's gonna be really hard to get into an Ash and a Victor. But if you do succeed and you are able to get into the core of this comp, then you gotta do with Darius, and that's not gonna be fun.
That's not going to be fun at all because a Fed Darius is a scary Darius. And with a buff that happened, I don't know if it was this patch or the patch before, onto his ultimate, legit, he only needs to land 4 stacks onto a squishy and still could one shot. And there he goes, dunk mastering around. So let's see if that does happen for it. And it could be very scary for the VGA side if they do caught out because they do have immobile champs like Kog'Maw, like Bard. So I respect the pick, but I 100% believe in VGA if they could get it, if they get this Kog'Maw healthy, stays alive, and he
Mhm.
could be a menace into the late game.
Oh yeah, the siege they provide. I think this puts a lot of pressure on Kog'Maw because he's obviously the siege monster. He's obviously the one with the longest range. So he's gonna be the real if VJ isn't set up on the objectives, then he's gonna be the main way they get on. Yes, you can engage with Orn. We saw how Orn engaged last game. Actually, an Orn engage is what got VJ the win last game from Akuma. That was Legoat James's Orn giving VJ the win there. But you can engage with Orn, but you really do want to fight that range with range, I believe. And if Kog'Maw isn't able to land those ults, then like just the R really, it's a little bit it's hard to get into this comp. It's hard to get in on Akuma, especially with seeing how strong they've been playing in the even in game three they played strong. So it's gonna take some very, very strong plays from Champagne fan, which you do get confirmed, is playing mid lane. Uh he'll have to play very, very strongly on this unconventional pick in this meta.
Yes, and I do agree. So I believe it's going to be a game off to the see what the Garys can do, and it's going to be the game between the junglers because, like we saw in game one, we saw Hex crazy in six, crazy catches on the Lee Sin, and if he does it again, it could be very detrimental to Kog'Maw, to Zaya, more so Cog, and I can't wait to see it out there on the Rift.
Yeah, we will see what goes on here. We do have all the teams set up here. I think this is going to be. I, I want to say that these comps are almost conventional enough to say, okay, these are regular comps. We can see what they do. The Kog'Maw and the Bar do throw a little bit of a wrench into how I would traditionally think about this comp, about the VGA comp. And the Darius here does feel like uh, a little bit of a gauntlet being thrown down by the Goat James. Uh, but you know what? If I have to give a prediction here, I'm gonna try to put faith in this Champagne fan Kog'Maw and say if you pick this in game four down 2-1, it has to be for a reason, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and say that Champagne fan has a reason for locking this champion in as early. Well, it was before, but he locked it in, and I want to see what he can do with it.
I do agree. So we'll be right back after the spectators delay. See you then. All right, game four, VG versus AKM. Let's see if VG could do this reverse sweep, the Cinderella story, or AKM will shut it down this match.
Yeah, we will have to see. There's been some gauntlets thrown here in the in
30
Pick Ban,
seconds
and
until
we're
the
looking
minions
at
spawn.
potentially this Akuma Blades team trying to make something happen here in the river, but I don't think there's anyone. No one's gonna bite. No one's no one's gonna step too far out. In fact, no one even stepped out to that opening to 5 point. Uh, so heads up play there, just being very proactive on the map right now, and a lot of pressure in this game. You want to get this game over with if you are the Kuma Blade. You want to go ahead and win because in a game five,
Minions
anyone
have
can win,
spawned.
anything can happen. And for Team Ambition, I mean, I'm sorry, and for VG Ambition, like they have to, they this is a much must win. Obviously, they really need to have their best game right now and put themselves in a position to to win game five or even try to even get to a game five. So a lot of pressure here, but I think that both squads are ready to perform for us.
All right, I'm ready. VG looks like they had a very, not a very solid, but a good game last game, and let's see if they keep up the momentum. Hawkster got his champion he wanted. Bard very confident in pre-chance select, saying that no, he has no counters. So I'm excited what he has to offer into the bot lane, getting the champion he wanted. Does land a stun onto the Ash and does great damage, but Ignite goes onto the Zaya.
Mm,
Zaya has to flash
so
out.
early.
Great damage coming from the Ash and Thresh, showing that AKM still a strong bot lane.
Yeah, I mean, Flay Ignite with the Glacial Augment, Lokidosi has to flash, and that's so tough. A 2 minute flash with Lee Sin pathing bot already on red and Gromp, blue and Gromp right now. I mean, this is not a fun time. Zoned off the wave, you're gonna see Ash being able to get some hits onto your turret, potentially. No, just gonna ward. Uh, that's fine, but you're not in a good spot at all if you're Lokidosi. Now, and Hawkster may not have any counters, but a flashless Zaya before six definitely does.
Yeah, and that could be very scary for the bot side of things. But let's see how the junglers handle this situation, handle like control state up to the bot lane. I'm very interesting to see if Hex got what it takes to bring back game one and do it again game four and close the game out.
Yeah, I mean, I think my eyes. I can't speak for you. My eyes are on Ratchet. I think this team plays as well as Ratchet does. It's really what it comes down to. And I think he can be a player who can not single handedly, but be a player who can have a huge impact on the end result for the Blades. So my eyes are on him for that side, and for the side of for VG Ambition. I think we already mentioned this, but I'm looking at this Kog'Maw doing pretty well right now, holding his own. You know, two range champions going at it in this mid lane, but I really want to see how he transitions to the mid to the mid game. Excuse me.
As I can see the cog dishing out damage same to the Victor, they are trading evenly. Surprising to see from a Kog'Maw, and imagine to see during a little couple of minutes into the game, and they are trading onto the top. Darius is trying to land the Q, does get 5 stacks onto the Orin. Orin walks away. Looks like the train went evenly. Zin's out trying to make a gank off to the mid. Thresh is roaming around mid side and see if something happens in the mid, and it looks like Darius is looking very low, getting Orin just really like damaging the same damage back. Kog'Maw looking low. Lee Sin, Thresh coming into the
There we
top line
go.
bush. Flash going into the Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw does die, does misses the Q, ignite onto the Xin Zhao. Xin Zhao does come out alive, but they still are chasing. Does Lee Sin land this Q?
Look at this Q. Look at this Q. Forget Lee Sin's Q. Look at Ratchet's Q. It's gonna happen. Oh,
Oh, miss, and Xin Zhao
Ratchet's
captor
fast.
does. Yes, he is, and he does make it out alive.
Maybe he has water walking. I don't know. I feel like he moved way too fast. Like when the camera moved away from him, getting chased like in river, and it came back, he was like much farther away than I expected. But yeah, able to get away with his life. Had to use flash, but I mean, obviously your life is more important. And only one kill given over to the Blades. It is on to this Victor, but Champagne fan does still have his flash, so he should be straight. Dragon is up right now. We won't get a Mountain Soul, uh, but we should have a pretty exciting skirmish before this because you see this Bard already stepping up.
Like then Bart is trying to get a catch off to the Victor. Nothing happens. Bart runs back down. And very interesting to see 1-0 on Fluke, and it kind of we kind of the VG don't want that, but it looks like VG's looking for something in the bottom lane. Thresh misses his hook, but they decide not to do it. And ACAM looking onto the Drake, getting this mountain, and Kog'Maw rotating, Zen rotating, and Bard trying to check it out. They are starting it up. I wish I could see it. And there we go, Dragon in half health. Kog'Maw onto the side, trying to disrupt damage, and
Hogster? You don't want that.
it
Unless
looks like, unless,
Zinzao?
unless,
You don't want that.
no,
They don't want to fight either, so why even be right here? Why not just get on Krugs? You're not going to steal or fight.
yeah,
I see it happen a lot, actually. I don't know if it, I mean, it happens a lot in the solo queue, but I do see it a lot in pro play as well, where junglers and teams will just sit around the pit to just look. They'll just sit there just to observe the enemy team taking dragon. Now, maybe I'm just like low elo and I don't understand the game, but I've never really understood outside of like champs like Lee Sin and other champs that can like steal objectives very very easily, like Echo even. Like what the point was of when you know you're not gonna get into that pit, just sitting right behind it and like looking at it. Felt like a kind of waste of time for an objective that's already gone, and it's only the first dragon. Um, but yeah, I see it happen a lot with pros and kids in my elo, and all of them get a little bit confused.
and good damage going on. Bard's been landing a lot of stunts onto the boss side of the map, and they are getting chunked and getting punished for it. And that's not something a Thresh needs to be. Wretched needs to be healthy because once he gets the hook, they want to go all in, and he wants to survive after that. And it looks like Xin Zhao's going for the gank, and Lee Sin looking for the counter gank. Actually, maybe the opposite around. They are looking for the Bard
Oh,
and to see if anything does happen in the bot lane. Bard does get away. Oh, code from the Ash,
ooh.
but nothing does happen because they decided not to do it.
Yeah, Loki has a lot of health and mana. Keyboarder kind of low on mana, and Ratchet was like at half HP. So like, it's not really good. It's not really good numbers for Akuma. Not like numbers of players, but like just the numbers of like in mana value and health values. This didn't make sense to go all the way in, even though you do land the R onto the Bard. Uh, so I mean, not a bad situation there. Two junglers meeting up bot lane. Finding a little bit of a stalemate, no sums. It's a nice little exchange.
Orin does show a lot of dominance into the top lane, especially buying that Brambovis where Darius really can't heal off of it. Orin going all in since Darius misses his ability. Darius misses his no makes pops out ghost, see if he stays alive, but it looks like he's on the rock side of the fence and he's still going after Flash, but misses the end point of his axe, doesn't get the heal off. Orin flashes onto him, finishes off Darius, and there's another fight ensuing, trying to come after each other. Thresh flashes away, and Victor trying to save what they have. Ult's wasted down, Flash wasted down, and it looks like VG looks very advantaged on this point. Orin looking very strong.
Yeah, I mean, you're down 20 CS, but you get a solo kill onto the Darius, who uses both Flash and Ghost. Uses Ghost to walk back and forth between two minions in lane, but that's just fine. You're looking pretty good if you're Ginger. You're on this Ornn. I mean, earlier, like maybe 3-4 minutes ago, you did see the GOAT James lose a trade heavily to this Ornn. And have to go back. So I mean, he's been playing this. Ginger's been playing the Ornn very well so far, and he kind of makes up for that CS difference. Actually, he gets the kill and soaks up both these waves. He'll be about even when all is said and done, and he'll be fine with that. But Herald is going to go over to the Blades. Though.
I'm sure definitely the Blades do need this because it looks like we get one laner out the lane and go set up for a catch. It will be very advantage and see what they could do with this Herald.
Yeah, I like that Hecus is pathing top side and Fluke is hovering top.
Oh,
Ooh.
Cather off to the Bard and does heal and flashes away. And the ult
Uh-oh.
goes off, but Bard had to flash away. Two flashes down, but a support flash for an ADC flash, I'll take that any day.
Yeah, it's a support flash for 80 carry
It's
heal
serious,
and
yeah,
flash. Yeah, like that's a lot.
yeah,
That's a
that's
ton.
a lot.
It's a great thing.
So good job on Captor trying to help them out a bit. Darius is still finding it out with the Orange, but Orange is dishing a lot of damage onto the Darius, and I should think Darius should stop trading Orange because it looks like it's always going to be an Orange win.
Yeah, Legoat James is trying to keep it real right now, but he's finding out what happens when keeping it real goes wrong. You want to fight as a Darius, but hey, he got Bramble, he got Bomby Cinder, he got another, bro. He got Dorn Shield and Cloth Armor. You not breaking through nothing he's got already.
Hook does land onto the Zaya. Zaya used ultimate to prevent the Lee Sin from going all in on her, trying to get a catch out, but nothing does happen. But Harold does connect, but only getting one play, or did Harold didn't hit it at all?
I don't know. We'll see in a second. No, it didn't hit it. There's still 4 plates bot side. So
That
Harold
is
did not hit. I mean,
the Harold.
you see like the heavy attention to bot side is what happens when both junglers keep going bot repeatedly and repeatedly. Yeah, it could. You really don't find much at all either. I mean, you're fighting 3v3, and 3 people are enough. No matter how close you drop the herald, that they can get that thing down. They can kill it before it touches the turret. And you wasted some time. You wasted gold there. I mean, the victor would have been a good idea to get the gold onto. Darius even would have been a good chance to get that gold onto. Um, Trying to funnel gold into your utility 80 carry is one way to get them accelerated in the game.
Oh, three VGA members onto the top, onto the
Use
Darius. Darius
Ghost.
is trying to make it out alive, but there is no way he is getting away from that one, and it does go onto the Bard support.
He used Ghost to try to connect with Lee Sin, but what was Hexmas going to do there? Maybe kick one person? Then it's a 2v2? I don't know. I probably wouldn't have used Ghost. If I did, probably went the other way. But this is looking like a very, very, very different Akuma squad and a much more different VG squad here that we're looking at in game number 4. Hawkster just put some damage down in Magical Journey out of there. But we might have seen what could be a momentum shift in this series.
That is very true. And VGA with these unconventional mid picks is turning things around. Who would have known that the Zaya mid and the Kog'Maw mid would have panned out? And it looks like Chapanya Van is very like dominant in all games he's been playing. And I do give props to VG's mid laner. And it looks
Yeah,
like Darius is going all in onto the Orin and see
press
if
the
he
button.
does connect the ult, but the ult doesn't do too much. Orin coming away with a quarter of health. So does the fight into the mid lane. Kog'Maw does survive with a sliver of health. It sucks to see that the damage between not the damage of the AKM really not doing what it's meant to do, finishing off kills. And an Axe connects and oh does come with the hook. Does Zaya use R to get away? No, she does. She saves it, and that goes off to Zaya. She is dead. It goes on to the Ash.
Yeah, had ult and flash. Finally, we see Keyboarder get that ult onto Loki Dosi and not Hawkster, and immediately get a kill there. That is great. You have flash and heal again. So kill. Flash.
Oh, Lee Sin does going on to the Xin Zhao. Oh, a magical journey saves Xin Zhao on the brink of death. Oh my goodness. All right, we are seeing the Bard plays around. You've seen the roles, and you've seen why he was very confident in the Bard pick overall.
Yeah, I mean he said it. He said he has no counters, and he's here to prove himself right. Now he's I thought he was gonna roam and come down into the bot lane after going through try. and that was going to be a very, very, very rough situation. But makes a smart play, goes up to the mid lane, and this is looking like like I said before, I can't say it again, but I mean, this is like a much different VG squad right now. Um, but we'll see how they look at this next Dragon fight because they are down 2-0 or 0-2 in Dragons. Dragons is coming up in 90 seconds. You don't want AKM to triple stack Dragons and get put in a timer up.
Oh, Ash lands another O from downtown. Victor trying to capitalize it. Does
Damn.
Kog'Maw survive? And he does survive with the quarter of health. Now, Reese's looking onto the turn. Does Zinjao lands a W? No, he does not. Oh my god, what a missed opportunity. I would be getting really tilted not finishing any of the kills
I
that has
don't
been set
know.
up.
Hey, listen to this though. Hold up.
Stun,
Ooh,
Cook comes off to the thresh. And
oh my
Orn
god.
lands ultimately. Let's see if he got enough to survive. Bard does land a stun. Magical journeys out. Thresh living with a sliver of health. Zaya looking a little low. Victor and Lee Sin looking for a little something. Victor does good out damage to the Zaya.
Now, I will
And
say this: you didn't get the kill onto the Kog'Maw, but you did make him leave lane, and you did make him flash, and that was a minute before Drake. Now you're 20 seconds before Drake, and you just made Zaya and Bard back, and who knows where Capture is on the Raptors healing up. But yeah, he's at half mana right now. He's in the jungle, so going to regen faster. Look at this fight.
Darius is trying to get that. Darius trying to get that tower with Ghost and run away to
Yep.
successfully. That's bringing it down, and that's actually pretty good for AKM. Like I said earlier,
Yeah.
they do want to break down towers and get together as fast as possible and get the pick potential off with the Ash. And Bard wanting some. Darius is trying to chop him down, but does he? And he does. Like I told you, 4 kills, but Zinjao going out, and he does ult to Zinjao. Does get a kill, get a double kill. Oh my goodness, Darius and that ultimate buff coming through. All you need is 4 stacks, and he was able to one-shot the Bard and brings out his passive and able to bring down the Zinjao as well. That is a good play coming off from the GOAT James.
The GOAT, James, making his case. I don't know who Michael Jordan is. Never heard of the man. All I know is GOAT, James. And let me tell you something. I need someone to skip to the future of this game because it looks like Kuma Blades are absolutely running away. Now, look, it's a 3K gold lead. Teetering, flirting with a 4K gold lead, but you've stacked 3 dragons for yourself, and you just saw the power of that Darius. Now, Darius was having some struggles into the Ornn. That was Ornn with Bommies and Bramble and Doran Shield, and eventually had the Aegis. But not everyone's Ornn. Captor isn't Ornn. Loki Dosi isn't Ornn. Hawkster is not Ornn. So Darius is gonna have a much better time fighting those guys than number 2 Ginger. And if he's a part of the fight and not just being a typical top laner and having a nice little honorable gentleman's duel in the top lane, if he's actually coming to these fights, then he should be. It should just run away with it. Like this is just a very strong Darius. Got first turret, has Triforce already, taking jungle camps, looking to make a position on this Herald potentially, or push the wave out to help his team get Herald. No, actually, he's only a minute left. Not gonna do that. I doubt it. But he's in a very good spot. Up 20 CS, up in gold. I am sure on number 2 Ginger. If we could just go ahead and flip the gold here in a second.
And it looks like they are trying to get a catch off to the Victor. Orin ult does connect. Bard on the side. See if they dish out damage. And you already know how much damage Orin can do. But Victor with the movement speed does get a kill off the Hawkster. Does turn it around, but Orin finishes off the kill.
Trade support for mid laner, but you also get the eye, and they give the eye to Ratchet. Wow, that is Hexmith saying the Herald is better off in your hands than mine. Definitely want to see this go into a side lane. You know that side lane tier 2 does give out more gold. Been that way for some time now. Definitely want to see Thresh try to connect with Ash, but that's fine. Run down mid. You are stronger. 3K gold lead. Make sure this actually hits.
This time around, and then
Yeah,
it
because
does.
it's a little disrespectful to drop that with Ornn or with Bard right there mid lane with ult up. I'm surprised that Hawkster didn't use it. You sit there on
Oh,
air
W
mode.
does land, but Lee Sin does get out with the pink word W. And let's see if anything else does happen, and nothing does happen.
No, nothing happens, but that's kind of my point. Why didn't Hawkster use? I mean, unless it was just bad timing. I feel like Hawkster had an opportunity to use that ult on tier 2 turret and deny a second Herald uh, for his squad. But maybe he's just trying to save it and look for another fight. Who knows? The value can only be, I guess, perceived by the player. We'll see what the plan was there. But I mean, this is becoming a more and more rough game for VGA, and with this soul on the map potentially in 90 seconds, they're gonna have to fight again. You have to fight very, very soon, and these are some very scary members across the rift from you.
Yeah, and that is true. The Soul Drake going on the field, and if Akuma does get this Ocean Soul, it's actually very beneficial because Lee Sin and Darius are running Conqueror, getting that hill, getting those Conqueror stacks, making them alive, and with the Ocean Drake above that, the VG needs to very soon look for hill redux item. If not, uh, AKM will survive longer than what should be attended. And it looks like they are fighting over the ward power point onto the Drake, and Lee Sin trying to connect the Q, but it looks like something good is gonna about to happen in a few minutes, or no, in a minute or a few seconds. Okay, and let's see. W onto the.
They were fighting over that ward PowerPoint, and I definitely need to see VG Ambition slide and show their way over to this dragon because this is a very, very desperate situation for them, but not so for Akuma. They can push lane if they want to. They're not. We're really gonna television on this fourth Drake. There isn't as much. Okay, there isn't as much
Okay.
pressure on Akuma to take this dragon, but the longer this fight lasts, the more time that Champagne fan can get this siege and get these long range ults off.
Ooh, looks like Thresh is getting off caught, but Ash lands an O onto the Zaya. Great successful kill onto the Zaya, and they're still fighting over the raid. Ash, Victor doing crazy amount of damage. Let's see if the Lee Sin connects, but Ash flashes over the wall, wants to get a kill in Zenzel. Lee Sin finishes off. Next is the Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw does get a kill off to the Victor, and next and last but not least, Kog'Maw does go down, making it a team wipe, and AKM still standing alive, and they are making it a bear call next. And it looks like it's a very scary spot for VGA and a very great spot for AKM.
Baron call instantly, and you see on the bot side, Legoat James ults the dragon. He's on dragon solo, gonna get the Ocean Soul, um, uh, and I mean, if you're the Akuma Blades, you know this game is over. If you are VG Ambition, you're looking in your deck and you're saying my grandpa's deck has no weak cards. It has Karibo, and right now that's what VJ is looking like right now. Lovable character, fan favorite, kind of reminds me of Teemo. Maybe Riot stole the intellectual property of Yu-Gi-Oh with Teemo. But hey, we all love the sharing of ideas, and I just watched Yu-Gi-Oh Abridged again. I watched that like at least once a year. Have you seen Yu-Gi-Oh Abridged on YouTube?
I have not.
I
I
promise
really
you.
have not.
Look, it sounds weird. I'm telling you, give it a chance. Give it a chance.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Just watch it.
Bridge.
Just look it up. Just look it up on YouTube. Maybe even now. I mean, I'm not sure what we're watching, but I mean, you can look it up on YouTube, and it's a funny. It's 80 videos, but it's hilarious. It's actually hilarious. But yeah, the Harper cards is almost the one thing I can actually say would be the individual.
And it looks like VJ trying to get a catch onto the Kuma side, but it looks like Lee Sin's getting all knocked up, and Lee Sin does go down, but they're still fighting. Bard also the Darius, but Ash lands and let's see if anything happens out. Orange is getting a lot of damage being dealt to him. Kogma's spitting out damage. The threat lives with a sliver of health, and Darius onto the ultimate, onto the Zaya downs and downs for the counts. And it looks like this is actually AKN's game if they finish their mid right now in this moment's time.
Sunrise, did you see the new Spider-Man movie?
No way home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
You remember that part when they're about to near the end of the movie when Andrew Garfield tells the other two, tells Toby and old boy and Tom that he loves them. And they just say
Yeah,
okay or like thank you.
yeah.
I feel the way for this game that it must feel to hear that. Um, this is a little bit tough. It's a little bit tough to see because we did see some life out of ambition in the last game. We saw them come back from a deficit twice to win their game, and now it looks like the Blades are just having their way. Um, they have control. It's just absolute control on the map, on the objectives, on items, gold. If we can just look at the individual gold, I would love to see um, the jungle difference. I want to see the jungle and top differences in total gold because I assume that's where a lot of it is. I assume that's where a good chunk of it is. Uh, just the turret that Legoat James was able to get, and then Hexmith just being literally everywhere all the time, like an omnipotent overseer that we do love and appreciate, much like the our ape overlords that allowed us to cast this game of League of Legends tonight. I'm both prideful and appreciative of this opportunity I've been given. But I mean, this is just a very, very, very rough situation for VG Ambition. Not impossible, but it's going to take a lot of continuous, fortuitous things happening for them to get this game back in this position.
And that is very true. VGA is in a very, very rough spot, and right now, it's all up to the Karma to turn around, and Darius is actually going all in. Very different from what we saw in the beginning of the game to
Mm-hmm.
right now, where Darius is
Jumping.
really putting the hammer onto Orin, and
There it
there
is.
goes Orin. And next up, let's see, he does get ultimate, and if it stays down long enough, Darius passive will go away. But
Fine.
AKM killing Kog'Maw with
Yeah.
the Thresh hook. Wait, Ratchet with another hook at the last moment of time. We saw
Ultra
another good
dies
Ratchet hook.
with the blade.
And
There it is.
Go dies, and let's see if it can turn around. VJ can turn it around. Hook misses. Zaya's doing whatever she can to put the minions away from her towers, but AKM is having a way with VG's base. And another
Oh,
flat forward kick going on to the Zaya. Zaya does go down to the Lee Sin, so does Xin Zhao, and that looks like GG AKM taking over to the semifinals. AKM and the boat going fighting for the championship.
but before we fight for the championship, we fight to get our stats up if the minions will allow it to happen, and they will not. Number two Ginger is just way too tanky anyway, so that kill was not going to come through. This is going to end in a 3-1 fashion advantage to the guys over at the Akuma Blades. I have to say, this was a very eye-opening, I think, series. We saw a very, very dominant game one from the Blades. Then we saw a game two where they looked like wait no, no game two was very dominant. Game three, they faltered a bit and let VG Ambition come back, and VG tried to carry that momentum into the mid part of this game number four. I think they played very well in the early game of game four, but just weren't able to pull it out. Um, and their biggest nemesis, I'd have to say, almost easily was Ratchet. I think Ratchet went absolutely nuts on those hook champs. I see him in the chat right now. He should have picked something crazy for game four, uh, like a Timo or a Swain, maybe even a Nasus. I know there's some people in a certain church who know a little something about that. But I mean, seeing him hit those cues was a treat. So I mean, I can't complain about that at all.
Great win to the AKM, showing their prowess, looking like a very strong team. I'm very interested to see what they do in the finals. Good job, VGA, trying to fight through. I respect it. Start of a reverse sweep, but it didn't happen. So to the viewers out there, thank you for watching. This is the semifinals. This is your host, Sunrise. And this is your other host, Shell. And see you later.